or kidney. I think that's probably just the way it's going to have to be, I guess. Alright, so... This is very loud. That one's yours, isn't it?
Is mine very loud or not?
Just trying to see. It's a bit... I think it's maybe the fan. Can you turn it on low? Actually, I'll do it because you're in a weird spot to sit.
You can turn them both off. I don't think it's that. It's not that hot now. The aircon's on, so you must just leave it.
Fine. It's not even anywhere near us anyway. Oh. Alrighty. Let's get to it, guys. Massive contest between these two sides. Could be a battle of a near wooden spoon game, I think.
It's not the derby on Sunday. It's the pretty good.
Yeah, this one will be battling for the bottom four. Oh, the horn. So Rioli's gone into the midfield. Interesting. Did you like that? You saw it last week. Did you like the little spark of
Yeah, I think
speed through there?
Yeah, I think against Richmond, I think it was a nice trial in a way. So this is going to be the first full-time real game, I reckon, today against a response Essendon team.
So of course Essendon coming off a big loss against the Crows last week. Can they respond? Port Adelaide, big win against Richmond in their response game. Essendon looking for their first win of the season. Port Adelaide looking for their second. From the bounce, Brian with the first tap towards Rosie and Durham. Players combined. Durham try to feed it out of there. Durham with a strong tackle on Rioli. Almost in the back, but umpire says give it to me. Expecting an early response here from the Bombers. Brian with the tap. Missed his teammate there and Merritt gets out away from the scramble. Did well there, Martin. Feigned the give out wide, then gave it forward. Gresham went one way, then ducked back inside. Long kick to the top of the goal square. Caddy had hands on it, dropped a sitter. Burgoyne to sin it as he clears it outside the defensive 50. McGrath got a bad bounce. Wines gathered it well. Back to Rioli. The inside kick was a bit of a grubber. Rosie got a high one. And Gresham comes in with a bit of vigour on that tackle. So Rosie will get the free kick. Oh, it wasn't even paid.
No.
Oh, fuck the umpire. That was shit. Anyway, Boak takes it out of bounds, just straight in front of the interchange gates there. I mean, there's 4 umpires out there. You'd think one of them would have seen it, but you know, whatever. It's a Mackay big matchup tonight on Mitch Georgiades. Kick 4 last week. Both the ruckmen tussle up. It looks like Brian's going to get the free kick here. So against Jordan Sweet in the ruck. So Brian's taken the number 1 mantra from the ruck this year. Short little ball on the lead up was nice. Hit up Hobbs. So he's right on centre wing here, right in front of the interchange gate side. Goes wide to Merritt. What a game he had last week. 4 goals, 30 plus disposals. The kick was brilliant up the wing.
Gresham really should have taken that one.
He plays back inside now. Swings it to the top of the goal square again. Jones is there. Brought down by Bergman. Aaliyah fumbled. Now Caddy, great tackle. Spills that to Aaliyah. Sin to Burgoyne. Working backwards here, Port Adelaide, but they work it out. Now Sin in the back pocket. Goes up the wing with the kick. Good spoil by Pryor. And gets that one out of bounds. Forward side of the outer side here for the Bombers.
Probably should have marked that. He had both hands to it.
Yeah, I thought probably should have done a little bit better there. So
early snack for the debutant.
Early El Harley is the sub for the Bombers. Cochrane sub for Port Adelaide. Reason for that is he's during Ramadan they're not allowed to have food when the sun's out.
Yes.
I believe so. He's eating on the bench because it's dark outside now apparently. So apparently he woke up really early this morning to eat his breakfast and stuff just to get as much nutrients in for him. So back in the ruck we go. Sweet with the tap towards Horn Francis. Important game for him. Handball towards Rioli, missed it. Richards, good tackle there on Redmond. Ball pinging around inside. Eventually spills out to Merritt. Caldwell, Gresham. Further back here to McGrath. They're trying to go forward now, the Bombers. They want to go with the switch. Good kick in the end. Finds Pryor. So Pryor, 80 out from goal. Works the ball inside. Just holding it up now. Martin goes towards the pocket for Jones. Radicalier riding him and eventually rolls out of bounds. So Radicalier starting in the back 50. A lot of people expected him to go forward tonight with a lot of the tall stocks of Port Adelaide down, but I guess that's where Soldo is probably going to be playing. Interesting decision picking Soldo.
Yeah, I think it was the fact is that Ollie Lord is only just coming back from a slight injury, and they just wanted someone that's been there before. Oh,
so Farrell brought down hard. Merritt worked it forward to Draper, let it go. Horn Francis linking up here nicely at Port Adelaide. Burgoyne's handball, put Bergman under pressure. Durham with a strong tackle, was held. Play on, says the umpire. Now Merritt swings it towards goal and leaves it out to the left. First score of the evening goes to Essendon, and who else but Zach Merritt to get that first score?
Very interesting by Port Adelaide. Nearly a free kick. Maybe should have been to Sin, I think, there from Durham, but they're showing the aggression early here, Essendon.
So it goes long and wide. Horn Francis had hands on it, dropped it. Kako. Handball back to Merritt. He's already had a few touches so far. Great little step there by Caldwell. Gives it back to Merritt. Riding the boundary line. Got the kick forward. Got it smothered. Fisted it again. Hobbs back to Merritt. He fumbled. So now Port Adelaide can go on the rebound. Rioli hands it up to Drew. Low dart. Low there for Pal Pepper. He kept it in front of him. Pryor goes in hard. Bryan, a grubbing ball. Did it okay in the end. Caldwell, Martin, long handball. Did it well to Hobbs. Better get shut down. Got the handball at the back. To Martin. He feigned the give on the outside. Then worked it inside 50 to Gresham. Eventually gives it off to the top of 50 for Redmond, who can drive it towards goal. It's just wide. In fact, it was Jordan Ridley had the shot there. Just couldn't get it in. Side that left goal post.
They've got a lot of possession. Yeah, they've got a lot of possession here at the moment, Essendon, but they're not putting it on the scoreboard, which is very worrying signs for them at the moment because Port Adelaide will get their time.
So Farrell straight with the kick in there to Aaliyah. He wanted to give it back to Farrell.
Beautiful.
Good talk about him this week. Expecting a 5-year contract extension. Goes with a long ball towards Soldo up against Reed. Both players tussle. Eventually spills out to Sweet, and he's happy to just take that one over the boundary line.
I don't know how they could really give that, but I think it'll maybe a bit of sympathy because they're both ruckmen.
Both of them just stumbling towards the line.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide have a pretty good record at Marvel Stadium. A lot better than the one down the road at the MCG. Moraes held up. Moraes, sorry.
Getting in his first game, a full game.
Yes, be his first full game. Sub last week. Was very good in his sub game against Richmond. Sweet takes out of the ruck up to Wines. Ducked the head. Got it out though to Farrell on the right boot. Doesn't use that one very often. Works it inside 50. Brought it to ground. And now Pryor.
Well, that's more
down the wing.
intent than the other one. Yeah.
Umpire calls for it pretty quickly. Gives away the free kick here, Pryor. So it's a free kick to Port Adelaide, forward side of the wing, outer side. He'll work it long. High ball. Numbers there with Port. And Georgiades grabs it. Early contest there for Mackay. Got beaten.
Well, last week we saw their backline got absolutely dominated by the three tools of the Crows, and Georgiades had a good moment here. Mackay just slipped at the wrong point and just couldn't get any, just had nothing there.
Yeah, ducked out a little bit there, Georgiades, just to get behind Mackay with the kick. So did well there, Georgiades. Big game from him last week with the 4 goals. 23 years of age. Been a bit injury riddled with his career so far. But now the number 1 forward for Port Adelaide. He comes in, keeps it a bit left, but sneaks it in. So Port Adelaide get the first goal of Thursday night. So like you said, Essendon had a lot of opportunities in the early proceedings of this game, but as what happens usually, a team will go down the other end and kick a goal. I just realised I haven't started the timer. Can I start it a little bit later? I think it's about 6 minutes in or something.
Yeah, I think, as we saw also last week with the tall defenders in Reid and Mackay, that Port Adelaide just need to keep getting it in there. Like, not bombing it in, but just getting a lot more opportunities for the tall forwards there. Because, as we saw, that Reid's just not at the doesn't really have the strength at the moment against some of the big boys.
I think that's working. Sorry, the time's a bit weird. Just I forgot to start it at the quarter, but that's about right. So Port Adelaide will get the clearance here. Off to Bergman. From inside the centre square, drives it long. Last line of defence there is Ben Mackay.
Kind of on the...
Didn't have a lot on it.
Maybe a few jeers from the faithful.
Yeah, as Dersma has the footy. So now Dersma goes for the long kick up wide. Had hands on it there. Evans dropped it. Alir with a strong tackle. And it's called for a free kick to Essendon.
I think it was holding there.
So it would have been holding there to Edwards.
Interesting game from this guy last week. He did kick, I think, 3 goals last week against the Crows.
It was one of the shining lights in a pretty poor performance. So the Bombers working it up the wing now with Harry Jones. He takes the advantage. Off they go to Shield. Had a little slip, but did okay. The kick inside the forward 50, not the best. And Logan Evans easily cuts that one off.
Oh,
dangerous kick, but it may work. It does okay. Sweet takes the mark. So
gave Caddy a little knock while he was there.
Through. So Pal Pepper has it. So Port Adelaide just working it slow here. Goes to Wines. Low ball down the wing. It's a nice kick. It's been paid the mark there, Mead. So Port Adelaide just taking a little bit of a slow approach here. He's got Pal Pepper in short. Feel like he's going to have to go long here. So this will probably be the issue. Oh, good smother there from Zach Reid.
You really like this from Essendon so far. They've shown a lot of pressure, which they didn't show any last week against the Crows. So,
especially in that first half where the game is there to be won.
Yeah.
That's basically the game is gone at half-time. That's why I don't really put a lot of stock into their second half last week when they did kick a pile of goals. Because the game was basically over by that point. So they have to respond today. And coming through the stoppage, here go Essendon, Redmond to Shield. Handball inside, it's a dangerous looking handball, but he gets a nice bounce. Off go the Dons, inside the forward 50, pushing the back. Gives a fair shove in the back to Draper, and he will get the free kick. Radikalia.
Which way is he going to go this time? He did it so many times last week from going around the body, but he's also 40 out for this shot.
So big talking point last week, of course, as you're alluding to, is the Sam Draper set shot. For the form he'll go in with. So he's walking straight back.
He's thinking about it. Yeah, he's got it.
So he's going to go around the body.
He's 44. Oh, he's 40 out. Easy.
Well, he had the perfect record last week. Kicked 3 goals straight. So Draper comes around the body. And if you know what? He's kicked it. Draper, deadly on the snap. And the Bombers have their first. Well, he's confident with the action.
The thing is, because he's done so well with it so far, like, even if he misses the next time, you can't really say, oh, well, he can't do it, because, as we just seen from 40 out, he's just nailed it.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, it was a good kick, and if the reason why he's okay with it as well is because he's having shots a lot closer to goal. Because he's been there full forward, so... And right now, he's their most potent. So Eddie Betts just said at the commentary there that Sam Draper had 4 shots from pretty similar angles in the pre-game, as all drop punts, and he missed them all. So I think this may be the routine he goes with for a while. Back at the stoppage, and again, looks like Essendon will get the clearance. Durham did well. Dodge past a couple, a bit of a floater inside the forward 50. Aaliyah, he threw that away. And now Essendon, ready to make the pay. Misses to the right-hand side.
They could have raffled that, Essendon, and that's one they really should have nailed.
They've had some opportunities early here, Essendon. So here go Port Adelaide on the wing. They've worked it up too, but now Essendon fish it back. Redmond, the inside kick was nice. Hit up Gresham. Playing for the 50, didn't get it. So he's just going to go right back here to the back 50. Close to it with Reed. He goes to the wide switch on the outside. So Essendon linking up here. Roberts goes in short. Jones inside to Redmond. Could be 50 here against Rioli. Oh, he got a bit lucky there. So he goes to the perimeter of 50 here to Dylan Shield. He may well have this distance in him. If he gets on a bit of a run, he'll run a little bit of an arc, sets it up to the top of the goal square. Oh, Bergman, I think, got a fingernail on it, but a free kick's been ripped out. And it's going to be going Essendon's way. I want to look at that free kick again. I think it's going, is it Tom Edwards or is it Nate Caddy?
Ugh.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Tough decision, but Nate Caddy at the top of the goal square. Chance here to give Bombers their second, he does. So it's Port Adelaide got the first goal, Essendon got the last 2. That was piss weak, by the way. Fucking hell. Far out.
I guess early you just have to put him on the scoreboard. Yeah, and obviously he had a really poor game last week and just...
I just realised this. The fucking time is not even ticking again. Fuck it. Where the fuck's the percentage sign on this fucking keyboard? Do you know what percent? There it is. We'll leave it there for the second quarter. Just remind me next time because I'm a bit of a moron. So back in the middle we go. Soldo with the tap. A Draper trying to stream through the middle. Got it stolen from him. On Francis. Longish handball. Finds Drew. Picks it up well. To Marias from just outside 50. Low ball towards the top of the goal square. The lead up was brilliant. And Georgiades, a chance here for his second. Well, the kick from Marias coming inside was very nice.
Yeah, it's what Port needed to do. Straight after a quick goal from Essendon, they needed just that, and that's a lovely kick. Like, he's hit it to the
looked like he's
highest
had
point.
50 games there from Marias just streaming forward there. That kick was nice. A lot of proven AFL players mess up that kick. So good signs there from Marias. An opportunity here for Georgiades for 2 from 2. So to put Ben Mackay under a lot of heat early, Georgiades comes in with the cool, calm approach and the cool, calm finish. Port have 2.
He started well here, Georgiades. And without a traditional other big forward with him, is what Port Adelaide have needed.
With Port Adelaide as well, if they can get Georgiades up and about throughout the season, just give them a lot of hope when they do get these players back in the middle part of the year. They can just bank some wins early. We've seen that they can get on a run. So this is a Rioli here inside the forward 50. Does really well just to draw out the defender, and then Georgiades gets that nice little lead up. And he's looked good to start things off. So back in the middle, Draper with the tap. Wines trying to gather it off his toes. Got pushed in the back a little. Now Durham wrapped up by Horn Francis, trying to dig it out of there. It spills back underneath him. Gresham sits on top. Ken Inkley down at the bench. Just portraying things at the moment. Sweet tapped it straight down to Draper, who tried to dodge one tackle, got a kick away somehow. Did it well in the end, Essendon. And an opportunity here to kick their third. Blows it out to the right-hand side there, Dersma. Interesting if he would have got the arrow out against his former side. I'm assuming he would have. So Sin to take the kick in here. Just goes short into the back pocket to Burgoyne. Big game from him last week as well.
A lot of big games from
A lot of players filled up their boots against Richmond, I will say. Short ball. Is that Moraes again? I think it is. Well, he's got a few touches early, the kid. Works it short again. So Port Adelaide just taking a slow approach. I like Essendon's defence so far. Just keeping Port Adelaide a lot slower. So a high ball here from Farrell. Went up there with Soldo, brought it to ground, did it well. Wines, long handball towards Rioli, had too much on it. Roberts did it well to Merritt. Somehow got his hands free to Gresham. He works it towards half forward. All on his own is Edwards. Takes it just inside the forward 50, Tom Edwards.
I think he goes back here.
Well, he's already proven in Essendon Gullers he can kick some bags. In his match simulation, kicked 4 goals. Last week, kicked 3. Just seems to have that forward nous that you really like to see from an AFL footballer coming into his own way. So Tom Edwards from just inside the forward 50 kicks it long. It's going to go wide, and Jones had hands on that, but it spills through for a behind.
Not good signs for Essendon, like I said before. They're just not putting it on the scoreboard at the moment. 2-goal 5 to 2 straight.
At least they have been in the game early, though. At this point, I think the Crows had 4 goals on the board.
Yeah.
So Logan Evans gets it back from Radicalea. Doesn't have anything up the wing, so just works.
Like, what is he doing there, Radicalea? Like, that was a terrible handball by Evans, but that's just terrible by Radicalea. He just jogging there. Like, that's just.
So Ollie Wines has it. They did able to just hold it up there, Port Adelaide, but just outside Essendon's forward 50.
Really poor by Port Adelaide there.
Draper with the tap, Shield with the clearing ball inside the forward 50. Aaliyah has his name written all over it. So Aaliyah has it. So Essendon are doing really well with the defence here, the defensive structure they have with Port Adelaide coming out of their D50. Burgoyne to kick across goal. Not many players you trust for that kick, but Jace Burgoyne would be one of them. Radicalea, nice kick up to Moraes. He goes for the kick down the wing. Interesting from the umpire. Didn't pay down the field, but Burne-Jones did it to Mark. Gives it off to Sin. Takes a bounce. He's feigning a handball out to the left. About to get shut down by Kako. Got it away just in time. Berry. Long handball over to Pal Pepper. Trying to shake off the tackler. Still got it. Somehow broke away. Strong through the hips. Sends it up top of the goal square. Draper missed the fist. McGrath dropped it. Great pressure from Port Adelaide. Sweet. Wrapped up. Ball up. Should have been a throw, I thought, from the umpire.
That's a free kick. That should be a free kick against Willie Rioli.
Rioli kicked it away, but
no.
Umpire seems to give him a little bit of a reprieve there. But top of the goal square here for Port Adelaide. Sweet tried to smack it out to the left, missed it. Socketed it off the ground, only went as far as Redmond. Wrapped up, doesn't really have it. Hobbs trying to dig it out of there. Now it's Roberts. Held up, ball up. Good tackle there from Soldo. Deserved to be rewarded, wasn't though. Tap down, Pal Pepper, gathers it in the pocket, got boot to ball somehow. Ball trounces and just goes wide.
Kind of wanted him to do something else there because I was trying to take a snap.
Trying to defy angles there was Pal Pepper, but now here go the Bombers. Shield takes a bounce, had no options forward, so he just gave a long handball to Kako. Wrapped up by Sin, did it well, ball up.
You just see that Shield just didn't have the pace there, and
he's about to get shut down.
Yeah.
He did well to get rid of it, but I think a long kick would have been maybe a better option if he had something up there one-on-one. Brian takes out a ruck and immediately tackle. Drew, underground handball to Burne-Jones, and now Sin, streaming through the middle of Marvel Stadium. The kick up to 50, did well, found Rioli. He can spin, he can go long. He's going for the one-on-one, looking for him. Couldn't mark there, Berry, wrapped up without it. Mackay gathered the handball, turned it over though. Burn-Jones tucked up in the pocket, goes across the goal. Essendon have the numbers. Ridley kept it in. Here they go on the rebound. Here the Bombers. Ridley looking for the 1-2. Decides to go up with the kick there to Durham. Drew did okay, but the ball gets out the back. Durham's kick inside to Shield, and off go the Bombers. Shield drives it towards 50. Aaliyah is there, had his fist on that ball, probably still imprinted on the Sharon. Ball went to Hobbs, who kicked it, I think, off maybe a shoelace hit that one. Didn't get much connection.
Somehow
Goes on the fall.
I don't know.
So now, opportunity for Port Adelaide to go on the rebound. Boak goes towards the closest side wing here for Evans. He gathered it well. The kick inside 50 to Horn Francis. He just works the kick in short. Nice work there from Port. And an opportunity for Berry. We saw this combo last week.
That's where you want Essendon to really be on their man, because they did all the hard work by getting it down the field, and then on the way back, just not a lot of defensive pressure at all. And Joe Berry's just standing there.
You see Nick Martin watching a man, but then I think it was Kako, obviously a young player himself, but just had to come up there as the defensive high forward there. So Joe Berry kicked his debut goal last week with the combination of Jason Horn Francis delivering it to him. And now he comes in, and he's just left it out to the right. So both teams missing a couple of opportunities in the early stages of this one. So now Essendon want to go on the outer side with Pryor. Turned it over. Drew gives it back to Elliott. About to get shut down by Gresham. And taking him over the boundary line on the outer side. So if you're Essendon right now, I think you're pretty happy with the first quarter that you've produced so far. Probably a bit better on the scoreboard. But other than that, I think they've done well in response from last week. Port Adelaide have worked themselves into this game though. So just ticked into red time in this first term. Tapped down by Brian. Ricochets finds Hobbs. Back to Dersmer, about to get tackled. And he's going to get a free kick. Wasn't paid by the umpire, in fact. Richards did well to give it off to Rosie. Spun a full 360. Back to Richards. Couple of dance steps one way then another. Somehow got around him. Did it well. The kick up the line towards the one-on-one, and it spills out of bounds. Well, Richards did that pretty well there.
Nearly needed to have a bounce, but he got rid of it just in time.
Would have been cool running too far if you've run like 1 metre and it's just taking 20 steps back and forth. Player who hasn't got into it just yet here is Connor Rosie for Port Adelaide. Hasn't seemed to be around it too much so far. From the tap down, Wines works the kick inside 50. Georgiades is going to get a free kick. He's had a hot start.
Yeah, they've made the change for Ridley onto him, but it doesn't seem to have made a difference.
So the kick there from Wines just is a really nice kick. Ridley just grabbed on a bit early. Umpire was right there to see it.
Yeah, it drew Georgiades to the ball, and that's what made Ridley try to...
Really just off that half step behind him, which probably the reason why he grabbed on.
Yeah.
So an opportunity here for Georgiades to kick his and Port Adelaide's third. 45-degree angle, about 35 metres out. Oh, he's left it out to the right-hand side.
Port Adelaide needed to probably nail that. With all the...
Well, they're starting to have a little bit of dominance now with the territory.
Yeah.
So Redmond will take the kick in here for Essendon. Goes towards the commentary side. Goes towards the one-on-one. Jace Burgoyne just cuts that one off. Glides in nicely. Would you call him Junior Silk? I don't know about that just yet. Obviously, he's his uncle. He's going to set it up, though. 2-on-2. Sweet got hands to it. Wines with the snap on the left. It's still inside, but only momentarily, as Pryor happily just smacks it over the point, over for a behind. They've kicked 4 straight behinds, I believe, Port Adelaide.
Yep.
They just look very dangerous, Port Adelaide, when getting inside their forward 50. Essendon just seem to be scrambling. So Redmond just works the kick in short with about 5 metres. That kick to Ridley, so the umpire tells him to play on. Back to Redmond. Low dart down the wing. Merritt had hands on it, but it just spills out of bounds. So just under 3 minutes to go on this first term. Both teams still seemingly just testing each other out. So Throws it back into play. Soldo with the tap. Boak at the back to Horn Francis. And now Burgoyne getting up for his 8th touch. Low ball inside 50. What a kick! And Georgiades has the footy again.
He's in the zone at the moment, Georgiades.
That kick from Burgoyne was brilliant. But Georgiades again, he's looking good.
If Farrell's right there, does he give it to him?
No, I think Georgiades takes the confidence at the moment. 2 goals, 1 from him already.
Yeah, you got a free run at that. Like, you got to do something better there from Essendon, or he's gonna have a field day.
But Georgiades had a hot start. Already had 3 shots on goal. This has probably been the toughest kick he's had so far. Worse than a 45-degree angle. Just inside the line. Yeah, he's left it out to the right. So he's 2 goals, 2 so far, Georgiades, and scores are all square. So Pryor has it here in the back pocket. Former Brisbane Lion. Left as a delisted free agent last year. Works it up the line there. Riata-Clare couldn't mark it. Caddy gave it off to his captain. Merritt, the inside kick about to get cut off. Both players went in hard. Port Adelaide had the numbers on the ground. Wines had his handball smothered by Caddy. Then he turned it back over. Drew gave it back the other way. Roberts to Merritt. Further back here, Martin. They can work it up here, Essendon. Gresham stepped out of traffic. Doesn't have an option though, so just kicks it up the line, hoping for Draper. One hand on it, tapped it back into his own advantage to Kako. The excitement machine, the low dart inside 50. Jones couldn't mark down low, did it well to get rid of it. Now Martin up against Burgoyne, trying to fish it out of there. Didn't have it there, Martin. Play on, says the umpire. Rioli to Richards, and now Port Adelaide can repel through Soldo. Little kick up the line, did okay. Burn-Jones gathered it. Did well to keep it in bounds, and the kick was nice as well. He's going to keep on going here, Burn-Jones. He takes a bounce just outside 50. The kick out the back. Great work from Pryor. Didn't get it all the way though. Georgiades goes to ground. Quick on the up to Boak, and he nails it. Well, if he's not getting them, he's setting them up there, Georgiades, and Boak with the finishing touch.
That was very clinical by Port Adelaide.
Pryor did that really well to the point until he couldn't get a big fist on that.
Yeah, it's just
has to get that to the line. If he's not going to get,
who was the player here? It's McGrath here. If you look at, he's on the wing there against Burn-Jones, and Burn-Jones gets the kick, but McGrath just stops. He's just like, oh, he. I'm
going to be honest. I don't think Burn-Jones is known as much as a speedster at Port Adelaide. I don't know.
Yeah, but I know. But I think Manny McGrath is though. He's got very good stamina, and he just gives up on the chase. Very poor there by.
He is someone that was questioned through the week as well, Andy McGrath. Needed to do a lot better there. And again, their defensive lapses there from the Bombers just turn into the goal for the opposition. So back in the ruck, Soldo with the tap, Wines with the clearance towards half forward. Both players go to the ground. It was Rioli. He's going to get the free kick. Well, if they get another one here, Port Adelaide, I think Brad Scott, a few moments ago, would have been going into the quarter time break a bit happy. If he comes out, if they get another one here, Port Adelaide, he'll be steaming through the years. Couldn't get the kick away. Gresham almost turned it over. Merritt in and under. Pepper was held up. McGrath kind of owes them one. Goes for the clearing ball. 13 seconds left. Kicks it to space in hope that Caddy will get there. He's chasing after it. Farrell went to ground. Caddy did well. Has he got time? Got the kick forward. Don't think they do here, the Bombers. He did it pretty well in the end, Caddy, just to cause a contest. The siren sounds to the first quarter. Essendon, a lot better than last week, but they still find themselves behind. Port Adelaide, a quarter time leader by 6 points. 3-5-23 to Essendon, 2-5-17. How you doing, Jimmy? What are you up to tonight? Well, what are your opening thoughts on that first quarter there, Jack?
I think it's very much that they were feeling each other out. It wasn't very spectacular in a way, but they did.
I don't think it was one for the highlight reel. No, that much.
Like, you just had to see what their response was going to be.
It's a lot better than last week. But
yeah,
they still find themselves behind. They didn't take a lot of the other opportunities that they probably should have in the early parts of the quarter. And then Port Adelaide still had a couple of opportunities they probably should have done a bit better, but They still find themselves in front at quarter time. Looks like Durham's going with Rosie at stoppage. Yeah, I thought so. He's only had 2 touches.
Yeah.
3 players I have right there.
Are they all on your field?
Not Kako. I did put Reed in this week because of what's his name?
Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts out. I mean, Georgiades probably best on the ground in that first quarter. Zach Merritt was brilliant for Essendon, probably second best, and then I really like Burgoyne in that first term as well. That's probably the 3 votes.
Like, you see Cresham here with 8 disposals, and somehow 5 tackles. I don't see how that's possible.
You're right. They're fudging the numbers. It's rigged. It's all rigged. Not compared to P, mate. Refresh your mouth guard. Alright, let me go a quick drink. Let's look at the statistics now, shall we? One I didn't see after the game. Anyway, Jay Gresham on AFL Fantasy Front is the leader for this game. 45 at quarter time. Georgiades was brilliant, probably best player on the ground with the 2 goals too. 41. Zach Merritt was brilliant for Essendon, as he always is. The one-man wrecking ball at this point. And then Jace Burgoyne, 34 as well. Disposals. Highest for Essendon with the 11 is Zach Merritt, of course, and Ollie Wines with the 9. And the only multiple goal kicker right now is Georgiades with Essendon, Draper, and Caddy, and then both got one on the goal line. So their tackling pressure is a lot better Essendon than last week as well. They did miss a couple of goal opportunities in the first half of the quarter. I think probably they had a lot of chances, but just couldn't capitalise on the scoreboard, which I think Brad Scott will still be impressed with what they've done, but they need to do a little bit better in some other aspects of the game. How do you feel about Port Adelaide in that first quarter?
Yeah, I think they started out a bit slow, which is probably going to happen because of the response from Essendon. The thing that was good to see is that Horne-Francis started to get a bit of the ball and was in the midfield for most of that quarter, I thought. So that's what Port Adelaide need to look at in this next quarter, is try and get Rosie back into the game because he's only had 2 touches.
Yeah, well, Francis had the 5 in that first term with the 1 tackle as well. But 4 handballs though, probably want to get some kicks as well, just because he's usually a lot more bursting from stoppage. But good signs for a couple of the Port Adelaide players. Connor Rosie only had 2 touches in that first term. Looks like CM Durham's gone to him at stoppage.
Gonna do the time this time, or?
I will. Last time these 2 teams played, I believe, was Gather Round last year when Connor Rosie had a standout performance, 36 touches and 3 goals. So players are starting to move back into position for the second term. Points will be scored over. I don't really understand what you mean, but how you doing, gods? Second quarter is about to get underway. Timer is on, as I've forgotten the first term. Here we go. Brian with the first tap. Spills out now towards Sweet and Durham. Durham pushes into the turf, then goes over the top of him. Handball forward to space. Great little steal there from Moraes. Somehow picked that up. Got it off to Rosie. Back to Moraes. He works it up the wing. Towards a one-on-one. Bombers numbers here first with Redmond, but Wines let him go almost. Got it out though. Durham slagged it forward there to Pryor around the body with the kick. Standing underneath it is Bergman. Deserves a free kick and he's going to get it.
No, he doesn't. No, he does get it.
Yeah, he's going to get it. Wants to give it off to Rosie, but isn't going to be able to find his captain, so Bergman just holds it up. So Bergman wants to try and work it through the middle of the ground, but he won't be able to, so he just goes up the line. Towards the one-on-one there. Palpepper brought it to ground. Pryor again, he's in everything at the moment. Ball up. Second quarter points over. Overall score points over. Please do bet and make your winnings easy on Trusted Channel. Oh, you're saying... Oh, you're the betting expert. Does that sound right?
Oh, the overs look a bit suspect now for the whole overall game with the way that both teams are kicking. I doubt the overs will happen. Maybe for the quarter, they'll start kicking straighter.
You do. Jackpot Junkies on Instagram. He does the betting stuff. Anyway, now Port Adelaide have it here. Centre wing. Commentary side. Works it up nicely to Palpepper. He's going to give it back. Berry wants to go. Into the pockets. Don't think Georgiades can get there. And it's just out of bounds on the fall. So now Essendon want to go on the outer side. Short little ball. Dangerous kick to Reed. Soldo puts him on his ass. He still works it okay. Up to Pryor. Soldo trying to put on some pressure. He works it up the wing, but Aaliyah has his name on it. So Aaliyah holds it up. Not very clean exit there from Essendon. So now Rioli. Low ball to Grubber. Finds it to Wines. Horn Francis turns away from the traffic. The long handball hit the umpire. And now Shield keeps it. Long ball. Port Adelaide have the numbers and Sin takes the mark.
Didn't really do anything well there with that deflection from the umpire, did it?
I think it would have spilled out of bounds probably. I don't think Moraes is going to get there in time. I mean, what is that umpire doing? Is he not even watching? Anyway, so Port Adelaide have it now. Centre half forward. Bergman did it well. Gave a really hard handball there to Boak. He was able to control it momentarily. Radikalia back to Boak. Through to Berry on 50. To Burn-Jones. Has a moment. And now he has a goal! Well done there from DBJ. Port Adelaide get the first and the second.
Shouldn't have really happened, that. That was...
I feel like a better team would have been able to get rid of that, to be honest. Couple of players there, just a couple of fumbles and that. But then finally a couple of clean disposals there from Port Adelaide and Berry. Did it well just to draw the player to come towards him and then give Burn-Jones that extra split second to get that ball off. And it's a good finish. How do you feel about him? I know obviously he's an Australian defender. Has moved forward the last couple of years. Do you like him as a forward or as a defender?
I've always preferred him as a defender, but he's starting to make it his own as a forward. And, you know, if he keeps kicking goals like that, why wouldn't you keep him down there?
So good work there from Darcy Burn-Jones and Port Adelaide. Get a 12-point lead, their biggest of the game so far. Merritt back to Shield. He runs through the traffic, looking for an option. The right foot ball inside the forward 50 towards Draper. Radikalia went to ground, and he's going to get a free kick. To the anger of the Essendon fans. That's an interesting matchup, that one.
Yeah,
It's all arms and legs, I think, at this point. So he works it short to Aaliyah. Goes with a high ball up the wing, looking for the one-on-one. Georgiades and Mackay. Mackay got a fist to it. Martin held without it. Berry breaks away. Pal Pepper, long handball. One-on-one here is Caldwell up against Wines. Caldwell, strong tackle. Should be rewarded, and he is. And now the Bombers want to take the advantage through Redmond. Works it towards 50 for Caddy. Had too much on it. Spills out the back. Martin got to get there first. Keeps it in front of him. Aaliyah tries to keep him boundary side. Martin too good. Gives it back to Merritt. Who'll hold up right on 50.
I don't think he's got the distance here, but that was brilliant by Nick Martin.
So Merritt quickly plays on. The long kick. Just had too much there for Caddy. In fact, it's Edwards. Bergman landed brilliantly. Looking for the 1-2, and off they go. Port takes a bounce. Goes up the middle of the ground. And Rioli finds a huge amount of space on his own. He gives it up to Berry. He doesn't have much in front of him. Only Georgiades out the back. He goes from 50. Long ball. In fact, it's Soldo, and it didn't have enough on it. Right, Reed all over it.
Nah, they just... Yeah, I don't know. He probably could have kept going. Or Soldo needed to lead at him.
Yeah, had to. They didn't really have... They weren't on the same wavelength there. So now Pryor again. He's racking him up, it seems, so far. Goes with a long kick. Couldn't mark it, Roberts, but off the ricochets away. Goes with a long kick. Finds Gresham.
Caddy's out.
He's got a player. He just has to get past it. Oh, he kind of telegraphed it. Couldn't take the mark. Took a nice bounce for him, though. Snaps it towards the top of the goal square. It's Martin. It's Farrell.
Lovely. That really should have been a goal there, but both defenders for Port Adelaide did really well there without giving away the free. And
yeah, it was Burgoyne first. It didn't let Caddy take the mark, and then it was Farrell got a late spoil there on the Martin almost attempted mark. So now Port Adelaide want to go through the middle of the ground. They've been a lot more faster in this second term, and this is the man to provide the spark. Rosie off to Moraes, gives it to Mead. They're working it up with handball in Port Adelaide. Can they find the clean man? Eventually goes to Sweet. Don't know about that option. He works it okay though to Mead. Port Adelaide working into a lot of trouble, but eventually Evans decides to just work it forward to the leading man in Pal Pepper. I don't know if Ken Inkley's a real fan of all that handballing, but eventually they find it out, and a short little ball on the lead. Who else would it be other than Mitch Georgiades? They're starting to just show a little bit of...
Showing a bit
more quality at the moment.
Yeah, the class is kind of rising, if you can see, but Port Adelaide did it well, but yeah, like you said, Ken Inkley probably wouldn't have liked the way they did it with all this handball stuff, wouldn't they? Could have just...
Bit handball happy, I'd say.
Yeah.
The Georgiades kicked 2 straight goals to start the game, kicks 2 behinds after that. If we go by record, maybe we'll go 2 straight goals again. So Georgiades.
He's been in this position, down the other end.
Had a sider. He comes in and he's kicked it across the face. Won't make the distance, and Ridley just gets it through for a rush behind.
So he's had 2 goals, 2 points, and now 1 complete miss.
Yeah, true. So, you know, he's got 1 more miss, and then maybe he'll be back on good terms. Oh, you're kidding.
What are we doing? He didn't. It clearly didn't.
Oh, bro. There's nowhere near the fucking behind, but there's an umpire right there. Fucking hell. Anyway. I guess it was a quick review. That's all we can ask for.
I'd rather they not review it because I could have said I saw it when I was here.
Yeah, I saw it for you from Adelaide. So 2 goals to the margin. 14 minutes still to go in this second quarter. Port Adelaide definitely shown more value in this second term.
But both teams are just not converting at the moment. That's the...
Yeah, under the roof. There's no excuse. So Redmond. Long ball up the commentary side. Looking for the one-on-one. Aaliyah just able to manoeuvre Jones away from the footy. Burgoyne's been good. Gives it over the top into Richards. About to get shut down. Got the handle at the back to the voice of Mead. He doesn't have any options. The kick inside was brilliant though. Hits up Evans. Port Adelaide want to go for the switch here. Just showing their true quality. Goes to the quarterback in Bergman. He'll drive it long to the pocket. Numbers with Essendon. Can he get to work here, Georgiades? He beat 1. Did well there, Brian. Handball underneath there to Draper. Gave the handball to Jones, who was immediately under pressure. DBJ went to kick it.
But it was in the back.
Yeah, it was in the back. It was. Drew trying to plead his case. Wasn't being listened there by the umpire, and Dersmer has it. Just inside the defensive 50. Back to Reed. And he gives it off to Redmond. So he wants to go on the commentary side. He goes with the kick up. Not a great kick, though. To the toes of Hobbs. He did well to control it. To Caldwell. Long handball to Martin, who fumbled. Got it back up in the end to Merritt. Looking forward. Gives it back to Martin. Now to Caldwell. They're linking up nicely here, Essendon. Caldwell doesn't have an option. Runs himself into some danger. Works back inside. Oh, the kick was freaking woeful. And Brett Scott looks dumbfounded. Sorry, fucking hell. He was like bewildered by that. But anyway, now Port Adelaide go on the rebound. Berry, kick up towards Rioli. Had too much on it. Ooh, and he went in hard to the fence. Ran into the fence. He seems okay. Didn't look great for a moment. Good mark there from Durham. Goes towards the 50. Miss caddy on the kick. And the skills of Essendon in the second term. They have missed some routine disposals. Oh, jeez, that would have hurt too. Because the fences aren't made of like just plastic. It's like made of, they've got the little lights in it. Yeah. It's very rough. Pretty tough player though, Rioli. Got straight back up. From the stoppage, Gresham and Kako fight over it together. And had to be talking a bit better there. Gresham's been talked about. His, would you say, want for the footy, I guess, without calling it selfishness?
It's been the same story for him since he was at St Kilda.
So locked inside their forward 50 here, Essendon. Can they get one in response? Not this moment. Farrell clearing ball outside the defensive 50. Pryor got the fist down, but Boak roved it well. Inside to Wines. They're going to link up here. Port Adelaide through the middle. Palpepper got tackled. Got the ball away somehow. Drew got a free kick. Going for the 1-2 here. Rosie, off he goes. Opponents are trailing him as he works it inside the forward 50. Reed up against Georgiades. Who's going to win out? Reed did it well. Got into the boundary line. Nice little bit of confidence there for the young man. They did that well then because he had a very tough week last week.
Yeah.
So Zach Reed seems to be having the matchup now on Georgiades. So just outside, just inside the forward 50 for Port. Tap down there from Boak, Thursma to Martin. Doesn't have any options up the ground, so he decides to take a bounce. Eventually goes to the low ball for Kako. Couldn't mark. Got back onto it quickly though. Then a little step. Inside kick was okay. Durham plays on immediately. The kick up the wing was nice. Another drop mark.
Take that.
Jones has his time. Goes to the kick up for Caddy, who takes the mark just outside the forward 50. Has a leader in the pocket. It's Gresham. He takes. It's Menzies, in fact. Well, despite a few muck-ups, they work it out. And Menzies goes to the top of the goal square. They have the numbers here, Essendon.
Oh, lovely.
Great spoil from Burgoyne. Only as far as Dersma. Durham turned out of trouble. Off to Dylan Shield. Towards goal. And touched. And through for a behind.
They've just got no composure here, Essendon. They're just trying to rush it. They're trying to put it on the... They're just... Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of mistakes from Essendon. So a free kick here to Wines. Menzies had him cold and then just went too high. So Wines goes for the long kick. Up goes Georgiades! He's having a game of his life at the moment. What a mark! Could you say that was one of the smoothest speckies you've seen in a while? Yeah. He went up, you just knew he was going to take the mark and landed, just brilliantly. Just gracefully.
He landed on his feet.
So Drew, the inside kick, hits up Bergman. Port Adelaide, probably been the lesser of the two teams in the past 5 minutes, but they still hold an 11-point advantage. So they're just taking their moments here, just working around the middle of the ground, just trying to shift the defense of Essendon. Radikalia has it. Works it up to me. He's got a free man over the top. It's Drew. He finds him. In fact, it's Richards. So Richards now, forward side of the wing here. Goes towards the 50. Nice little lead up there from Palpepper. Just a little bit too easy at the moment here for Port.
There's not a lot of pressure at the moment. They're just, yeah.
Probably working into the pocket. There's a lot of space in that forward pocket here for, I think it's Horn Francis. He's just going to drive it high and long. Who's going to fly? 1-2, Sweet got smacked away from him. Boak took the contact. Tried to get the kick away, was Caddy. Smothered well. Palpepper to Rioli. Inside kick. Good spoil there from Ridley. Just got there with a scrambling defence. Evans wanted it more, but wrapped up by 2 Bombers.
There's a lot of Essendon players around the ball at the moment, but they're just not getting it. That's the thing.
Mead wraps up Gresham right on 50. Another ball up. Just not getting clean possession here, Essendon. When they have some space, there's a fumble, there's a drop mark, just something that slows their momentum. Shield trying to get there. Gresham breaking a tackle, got a high one as well. Umpire sees the high free kick. It'll go to Gresham on half back. The kick into the middle of the ground, all on his own here. Holds it up. Was Menzies, plays on, gives it off to Shield. He's got a player out the back. Will it get there in time? Alia's trying to get there, but good mark. Taken by Harry Jones.
Alia was trying to
cover 2 men.
Yeah, trying to cover it, and he picked the wrong op. For the first time tonight, Alia picked the wrong option.
Shield's having a good night for Essendon as a better kick. So Harry Jones has been trialled a bit as a wingman at times. Interesting to see where his future lies for the Bombers. But right now, opportunity to get their 3rd goal and first of the second term. Not much angle to speak of. The straight approach, he's left it out to the right. And it's through for another behind. Essendon 2 goals, 8. He's 10 points the margin. Both teams have wasted some crucial chances in this first half. So Boak, short ball to Moraes. He's racking them up in this first half. Short
50.
ball to Boak. In fact, it's Sin. Ball takes that there at half back. Kick up the line, found Pal Pepper, off they go again. Moraes gives it up to Boak. Better get shut down. Good work there from Menzies with the pressure, but the ball gets out the back. Soldo gathered it, wrapped up by Roberts. Ball up.
Probably not the man you want picking up the ball at that stage.
Yeah, you seem very slow on it, Soldo.
Yeah.
You can't really expect much more from the ruckman. Both ruckman tussle up. Umpire says let it play. Drew gave it out wide to Moraes. He's had a brilliant first half. Oh, Pal Pepper touched it on the line. I think that was going through. Play on, still in bounds to Hobbs. Kick over the top, finds Martin. I think that was going through there from Moraes. So he works it short. So Essendon have it here in the back 50. We've only seen 1 goal in this second term. It's been a very slow second quarter, I believe. Probably isn't one for the highlight reels, I'll say. So Essendon have it here out of sight at half back.
Yeah, both teams aren't taking their opportunities here. It's very... Yeah, it's back and forth, but just both teams aren't taking their opportunity.
So Mackay has it. So racking up a lot of touches here, these Essendon defenders, but not getting much territory. Now they have it with Shield. Someone will try and pierce the line. Wasn't marked there by Rosie. Durham trying to gather it. Did it well in the end. Up to Merritt. The inside kick was nice. Onto the lead of Edwards. Got a knee caught in the dirt, but it comes back up to Merritt. He usually could use it. Oh, Merritt, if he's missing kicks, you know there's something wrong. Gresham gathers it though. Inside to Dersma. Back to Gresham. Inside kick, and Merritt's got it again. Gives it back to Ridley. He'll fire from inside the centre square. And Jordan Ridley goes towards Caddy. Alia did well. Soldo fumbled. Burgoyne wrapped up. It spills towards the points and eventually socket tapped through by Alia. Well, they made it hard there, Essendon, but they got it inside their forward 50. Unfortunately, it's another behind. God, if it's not Zach Merritt, who else is going to get them?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
he's doing everything. So now Richards at half back. About to tick into red time in this first half. Bergman, long kick down the wing, finds Drew. Here you go, Port. The missed kick. Oh, got it out the back there, Burr Jones. He's got a few options inside the forward 50. Draper went back, couldn't mark. And now it's McGrath. He's given away a free kick.
To the man in the moment for Port Adelaide.
Joe Berry.
No, it is Joe Berry. I thought it was George Yards again.
So Joe Berry's going to get the free kick.
I want to see a replay of that because
he's having a dirty night. Draper had it written all over it there.
Essendon fans are not happy. Yeah.
There are hands in the back.
There are hands in the back, but it's...
So it's a free kick against McGrath. So Joe Berry, opportunity to get one in reply and give Port Adelaide a game-high lead.
Nope.
He's hooked it to the right, and it's marked by Ridley about 5 metres in before the line.
Soldo at the moment needs to make an actual contest when he's forward because he's not doing anything anything else.
Short kick wasn't paid to 15. Brian, drop kick, gone. No, umpire calls for a ball up.
Ooh. I think he took a bit of sympathy on the ruckman then.
We saw an old-fashioned drop kick there. Wasn't seen by the umpire, but anyway. Soldo tapped it out to Pal Pepper from the stoppage. Will he get the distance? Mackay stand underneath it, dropped it. Georgiades fumbled, kept it in front of him. Soccer off the ground was smart to Rioli. He ducked past the tackler. Short kick was about 5 metres. Burn-Jones trying to break past. Got a handball away. Durham turned it over. That's a throw from Drew. That's a throw from Rioli. And they're paid a throw. Jesus Christ. This first half, I'm going to tell you, no offence to Port Adelaide, but both these teams are playing like outside the top 8 teams right now.
This is what it is. This is a bottom 10 team.
Both of
match
them
up
at the moment.
Port
Adelaide need to improve. They should be in front by at least 3 goals. Kicks up the wing there for Draper. Got pushed underneath it, and he's going to get the free kick. And that's going to be 50 to Draper. Didn't throw the ball back to him.
Probably not his best moment there, Bilesberg, for the entire game. He's been pretty good tonight, but that was not a great moment.
So Draper is usually pretty prone to just bombing long. Let's see if he's...
I think there's a Radical hitting in the hole there.
See if he's got some tactfulness. He does go towards the pocket. Who's there in numbers? Burgoyne again. He's been really good in this first half.
I'd like to know who's actually on him at the moment.
To Boak. Goes to the kick over the top. Finds someone Francis. Drop the mark and then let it run out of bounds. That looked out to me.
That was out by about 3 metres.
Gives it back to Bergman.
That was high.
Did he get a high one? It has been paid. And the Essendon fans aren't too impressed. Just isn't on at the moment, Horn Francis.
He's had a very down start to the year.
So Essendon fans aren't impressed whatsoever. So Bergman goes to the switch into the other back pocket to Radicalia. Works it up to Sin. 3 minutes left in this first half. Sin goes for the long ball. Good kick in the end. Burgoyne had hands on. He's marked everything in this first half. Drop that one. Merritt up against Richards. Wrapped up. Burgoyne works it forward to Rioli. Free there to 50. It takes the mark. It's Jordan Sweet.
That's just a very poor...
we want to ask where Draper or Brian are in that situation. Sweet just sneaking in. And now into the pocket towards the 1-on-1. Couldn't mark there. Richards gets to Pal Pepper, who fumbles and bumbles it. Wrapped up by 2 Bombers and taken out of bounds.
And Pal Pepper loved that.
Pal Pepper shows the appreciation to a couple of Bombers players there. 2.5 minutes left in this first half. It's been an absolute grind for both teams. But Port Adelaide holds a 9-point lead. We've seen 1 goal in this second term. Tap down from Soldo. Pal Pepper coming through the stoppage. Threw it away. Dersma got taken high. And he'll get the free. So Dersma goes to the wide-looking kick. Takes the mark. So player down here, it's Pal Pepper.
I think he was just winded.
It's a tough hit to the ground. So now Essendon on the outside towards half forward with Roberts. He drives it inside to the leader Draper. Wasn't a great kick. Mead held it up momentarily, showed good composure. Now to Farrell. Kick up towards the centre square. Hits up Rosie. Back to Farrell. Usually a good user. Great looking kick just off the line. Gave it to Boak, the veteran. He'll drive it inside the forward 50. Not enough on it. Cut off there by Reed. So Palpepper just sucking in the big ones now on the bench. So Essendon going with the switch. Edwards up to Martin. Minute 19 left in this first half. Can Essendon get a late goal? Martin. Long kick up to Durham. Couldn't take the mark.
Oh, he's just giving that in the back.
Oh my God, he had one hand
I think
placed
that's
near
going
his
to be the
back.
call for this week, I guess. There's been about 3 or 4 already this week that I would have even paid in this game.
So Durham goes to the one-on-one in Draper. Radicalier got there, smacked it out of bounds. How do you feel about his first half? He's had some moments, Radicalier.
Oh, I think he's been. I don't think he should have been the player in, but it's not the.
You thought Finlayson should have been?
No, there needed to be some other. The thing is that because Port Adelaide don't have many big defenders, it had to be Radicalier, but I think he's been pretty bad, really. If they were playing anyone a decent forward line instead of someone in pretty much so youthful team.
Works it forward there, Essendon and Gresham in front. So after 2 goals, 9 in this first half, a big opportunity here for Jade Gresham to get Essendon's first goal of the second term in the shadows of half-time.
That was pretty.
Couple of missed tackles there from Soldo.
Yeah, I think him and Soldo's had a really poor first half.
So 18 seconds left as he's still ready to line up. He's had a pretty good first half, Jade Gresham. 13 touches, 6 tackles. Can he get a goal? He comes in, Jade Gresham, and he nails it. Trying to get the fans up and about.
Took them nearly the entire quarter to do it, but they finally get a goal on the board.
So 3 points to the margin. You would expect this will be the halftime scoreline. It's been a very quick second term. It's only 26 minutes gone as Palpepper starts to make his way to the rooms. Durham did that really well. Needs to be better pressure at the stoppage there from Port. So 2 seconds left in this first half. You'd expect this to be half-time. There goes the siren. It was a grinding, slow, tough second term. Both teams struggled to hit the scoreboard. Only 1 goal to each of them. But Port Adelaide take the lead into the major break. The Power, 4-6-30, lead by 3 points over the Bombers, who are 3-9-27. All right, guys, we're back in about 20 or so minutes with the second half.
G'day guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Boundary Riders podcast, G'day guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Boundary Riders podcast, episode 106, and of course with the end of round 2 coming into round 3, a lot to talk about today. Going to take a look at some news regarding the Gabba and the Brisbane Lions playing at a new home ground in 2033, so in a couple of years time, that's 5 or 6 years. A lot of injury news to cover. Of course, we've got our AFL fantasy and AFL preview to round 3 to break down. So let's not waste any more of your time. Let's roll the intro and get straight into it.
Welcome to the Boundary Riders podcast, your one-stop shop for all your AFL content needs.
He looks at his options, and Jack Ginnivan says, boys, you brought me to the club to do just this!
But this guy has flog written all over him.
From a tap down, Reed sprints away from Petrarca, leaves him in his wake, takes a second bounce, takes a third. The sheer arrogance of Harley Reid. Finish the job, young man!
So let's get into the footy news from the week that was.
But guys, back in the team this week is my brother. He decided to join us, decided to grace us with his presence. A couple of weeks away, I think that's been 2 weeks, and now you're back. So, Port Adelaide, big win against Richmond last week. I saw you.
Premiership favourites again.
I saw you refreshing the Ticketek, seeing if the grand final tickets were going on sale yet.
Oh
but
yeah, of course
unfortunately
it
that hasn't
happened. You know, I think we're back to our best.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of how we expected Richmond to be this year.
Yeah, I 100%.
The grand scheme of things, I feel like they're going to be on the back of a few beltings.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think that's going to be the worst of it, that game against Port Adelaide. I feel like there will be a couple of absolute thrashings.
Oh, you'd expect at least 1 or 2 100-point losses. I expect by the end of the year.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I think they definitely have some players to go off of, and I don't think they're going to be too concerned going into
the next couple of years. I feel like they have a lot to build off of, and hopefully they can get some wins on the board. So they're not just if they can compete most weeks, then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
If they're going to play, I mean, against Port Adelaide, I feel like they were okay, but they just couldn't get their hands on the footy, and Port Adelaide just kept it away from them.
They started slow, and against a Port team that were coming off that needed to respond, Port weren't going to relent their pressure and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot to say, I should have said it in the podcast last week, but I mean, I said it when the game was starting. I said Port Adelaide, they're going to beat it by 10 plus goals. Port Adelaide is such a response team, and that's kind of how it went. But, I can't really claim that too much because I didn't say it here. If I said that here, I would have been, pretty chuffed with myself. But, I did say it to you before the game. And you were like, well, I'm pretty nervous. And I'm like, you're going to kill them by 10 goals. This is what's going to happen.
It's the same thing with all the teams I follow around the world. It's just like, I'm never confident when it comes to...
You don't want to be
winning.
overconfident, I guess.
No, you don't want to be overconfident. The last time that happened is not a great prelim 2021.
2021 was the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I was super confident in that. And
was that 2020?
No, it's 21 because that's when they went on to go to the premiership against Melbourne.
Well, lost the grand final.
Well, yeah, but they still went on to go to win to get into the grand final.
Yeah.
That's the last time I was ever super confident about Port Adelaide.
Never again.
Never again under Ken Ingley.
Anyway, let's move into some news to cover over the weekend. A lot of injury updates coming through. First of all, Jack Lukosius has been ruled out for an extended period after suffering a fractured kneecap. That sounds fucking dreadful.
I don't know how that's going to be. That's an extended period. You expect to be 3 to 4 months at least.
I heard some news regarding it that the night after the game, the night of the game after it, apparently it just swelled up massively and he had to go to hospital.
And he had to release all the fluid.
Oh, that's fucking
yeah, I know.
Anyway,
I just like...
Hopefully he can return soon because Port Adelaide's tall socks now, especially up forward, are diminishing by the day.
Finlayson was dropped last week, so there's questions that he'll come back in. Ollie Lord's there, and then you've got some debutants really that you could bring in.
Yeah, just maybe chuck one in. But I mean, Port Adelaide, they've got a. Do you remember who they play this week? They play.
They play Essendon on Thursday, and then they play.
Makes it interesting.
Then they play the Saints before gather round against Hawthorn.
So a couple of interesting games to come up. Yeah. On Essendon, Elijah Sardis and Archie Perkins have both been ruled out for this week and potentially next week as well. Two young up-and-comers. A little bit disappointing on Essendon. We are going to talk about them a bit later as well, but broken hand to Elijah Sardis while Archie Perkins has done a quad. Interesting with Elijah Sardis. I mean, he hasn't had a very big start to the actual season. He had a very good pre-season, good match simulation. I guess it's kind of how Essendon were, though. We were all expecting some interest. I mean, a lot of people fell into the trap of watching their pre-season games and falling for that, but I picked them 17th, and right now I'm kind of looking like I saw that coming. They're looking very poor.
I want to see their response this week, and of course it's against Port Adelaide, which is not great for me, but you want to see them be more competitive than they have been in the first two weeks. Really, they played well in the first round against Hawthorn, but
yeah, I mean they had chances to potentially win that game if they actually took some chances rather than wasting them. Hawthorn went down the other end and just were too good.
Clinical.
Yeah. Adam Treloar unfortunately has suffered a setback with his calf. It does seem that he's going to be missing yet another month with a calf strain. So the Bulldogs are performing okay, but you want to have those big players back.
You want them to come back before they're like mid-season, because then you want to get them 2 months of good game time before the finals. So,
well, considering at the moment, I feel like Luke Beveridge is kind of, with all these injuries, is a blessing in disguise, because now he's had to basically go with a squad that he has to go with every week and not swap and change them.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're they're kind of settled. I mean, it's only 2 rounds, but even against Collingwood last week, I mean, let's be honest, if it wasn't for the umpiring, they would have won that game.
Yeah.
Anyway. Also, on Tom Stewart, there is some good news here for the Cats. It does seem that is a sigh of relief for the Cats. He has been cleared of any significant knee damage. Scans have revealed it is a low-grade PCL injury. He remains an outside chance to play on Saturday night against the Brisbane Lions. I feel like you take the cautious approach.
You have to take the cautious approach with Tom Stewart. I think you're taking 2 weeks and bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys didn't see the tips, we'll be playing that for the podcast a little bit later, but
they've only their record, I believe, with Tom Stewart out is 1 win, 6 losses. So I mean, he doesn't miss many games, but when he does, Geelong don't play their greatest. So they did have Connor O'Sullivan play in that back 50 on Saturday night against St Kilda, and he showed some good signs. And Closey came on as the sub, and he had a very good performance as well. But I mean, you can't replace Tom Stewart with a couple of kids.
Well, O'Sullivan did get the nomination for this week Rising Star,
which I thought was a bit.
Which I don't agree with. It should have been the West Coast player in Terrell Dewar.
Yeah.
I think he should have deserved the nomination, but I think O'Sullivan has played well in the first 2 weeks of the season. So,
I mean, he's done well, and we'll see when. So Lawler got the first one, O'Sullivan got the second one. We'll see how, because I mean, this has been a pretty big draft on coming through so far. A lot of the players have impressed in their first couple of games. Xavier Lindsay as well could have got it. He had a pretty decent performance against North Melbourne. So a couple of other ones that could be getting them in the future. And then the final injury update I wanted to give, this was a little bit earlier. This was on Saturday afternoon, I believe. But Reef McGuinness has been confirmed to have done an ACL. So that's really sad news for him because he finally got into the team. He's been sitting in the periphery for quite a while now for the Pies, but now, unfortunately, going to miss a whole year.
Yeah, sad.
So sad news for Reef McGuinness. Let's move on, talk about the news regarding Brisbane Lions' new home ground, it looks like. So the new Brisbane Stadium is to be built at Victoria Park in Queensland. Absolutely no fucking idea where the hell that is. Isn't the MCG near Victoria Park in Melbourne? I feel like that's... I thought for a minute, I looked at it for a second, I'm like, hang on a minute. They're moving back with Fitzroy, but anyway. The Queensland government have announced there will be a new Brisbane Stadium built at Victoria Park for the 2032 Olympics. With a capacity of 60,000, it will be the home of AFL and cricket. Meanwhile, the Gabba will be coming down to make way for an urban renewal after 2032. So that sounds like it's going to be a big wank fest, wherever the hell that's going to be. I'm assuming they're just going to build housing and that sort of stuff where the Gabba's going to be, similar to what they did with Amy Stadium here in South Australia. This is said by the Premier of Queensland in David Crisafulli, my goat. I love him. I think he's my favourite Premier in this country. I feel like it's overdue. I feel like looking at the Gabba, they need a new stadium. I mean, I think another issue with Brisbane is a lot of the Queensland don't actually agree with the idea. They didn't want a new stadium because it costs too much. Another issue with that is Tasmania obviously had a big issue with having a new stadium rather than redeveloping the one they had. So apparently that seems like they're in vogue, I guess, is no longer do you redevelop a stadium, you build a new one.
I think, well, when it comes to the Gabba, I've heard a lot of people that have been there think it's really shit from other
So you've heard other people. I've never really heard anyone talk about it. I've never really heard like face to face someone talk about it. Have they said exactly what their issue is with the ground? Or
it's there. Well, the seating's very small together. You feel like you're like sardines in a can.
They're very close together.
Very close together. It hasn't been redeveloped in a long time. I know that.
Yeah, I do know that too. I guess Adelaide Oval was a redevelopment, but I mean, even though it was a redevelopment, it was basically a new ground, really. The Adelaide Oval that used to be is hugely different than what it is now. But I guess, since then we've had, that's pretty much, I can't remember another redevelopment.
SCG got a new stand.
Oh, they got that new stand, yeah. No, I guess the GMHBA did get that new stand as well, but not like a full redevelopment. I mean, Adelaide Oval got a huge revamp. I think Brisbane just needed a new stadium in general, especially because they host so much up there in sport. You got cricket. It's not like Tasmania. I feel like in a way they kind of had to get a new stadium because of the weather. They're having a full AFL team now, but they don't really host. They didn't really host that much sporting events. The Gabba does. Yeah, and Brisbane do.
You got to think of also like entertainment and stuff. Like if you have a 60,000 capacity stadium, more. Even other just events in general, not just sporting events, just...
Yeah, because I don't think the Gabba holds more than 40, I don't think. Is it 40? It's either 40 or 50,000.
No, it's 40. It's definitely under 40.
I guess a lot of the reason as well why the Gabba hasn't really needed to redevelop is they only really... For a long time, the only sport they really had that was really popular was cricket, and footy took a long time to get bigger.
And rugby as well.
Yeah, well, rugby's obviously taken over.
That's what they've got Suncorp for.
Yeah, and I mean, that holds 90,000. There's no real need to redevelop or do anything to the Gabba when, how many times has the Gabba been filled up with Brisbane Lions fans? Not very often.
No.
So that's probably why they probably haven't really felt the need. But I guess now with Brisbane starting to be a much more popular team, I think they're going to continue to grow quite quickly if they stay up the top of the ladder and footy continues to grow in Queensland. And I think it is probably now that it is a good idea with the Olympics coming up that you do move the Brisbane Lions over to this new stadium.
Well, the thing is also, like, this new development, it's an extra 20,000 seats. I'm just saying that how many times are they going to sell out that at a Brisbane game? I'm really just going to say it. Like, they didn't...
Well, it is, 7-8 years in the future? I don't know. I mean, in big finals, I guess is probably the idea. And I feel like at this point, I know it's a very long time, and I know a lot of people would hate me for saying this, but if it does get to a point where the AFL wants to become a lot more fairer for these interstate teams, I still don't like it at this moment, but have a grand final outside of Melbourne. Now, I know that's a big call, and I know people are going to hate me for that, and I still currently don't think it should be a thing. I think we should have the grand final at the MCG. But if teams start to have big grounds that can accommodate for a grand final, I feel like that's fair enough if they are like the best team there. I still don't think it's fair at the moment though, and I don't think even if they did build the Queensland Stadium to be 60,000, I still think there's other teams that don't have a big enough stadium to accommodate for that. Talking about the Sydney Swans, SCG 40,000, you need more than that for a grand final. Even Adelaide Oval, I don't think 50,000 is enough necessarily. I think you'd have to go at least to 70.
I think it holds 53,000 Adelaide.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel Stadium holds nearly that much. So I feel like you'd need at least 60, 70,000 at a ground, especially for a state like SA. Queensland I kind of get, because it is still a rugby state. But if they're going to put a grand final in South Australia or something, you'd have to find another 20,000 seats somewhere. Yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk about the talk of the town, the team who is on a rebuild or, are fine, it's all good, put your heads in the sand, is Essendon.
Oh, I thought it was all about West Coast. I guess they're both the same, aren't they?
I guess West Coast are doing okay. I mean, they nearly beat Brisbane up at the Gabba. I'd give them that. They've done better than Essendon and Carlton. Anyway, Essendon, a lot of talk over the week has been regarding their list at the moment with their draft picks that they've been picking up and arguably have failed or have just not been living up to what most people have expected. And recently, Brad Scott was on AFL 360, I believe it was on Monday night. And on an interview, he recently said, after being asked a question about if the team is in rebuild mode, he said, I wouldn't concede that we're not capable of competing every week. Call it potential or call it capability, but we've got to get to the best out of our capability at the moment. So I feel like he's dodging around the question. He doesn't want to say
that's a political answer. That's not actually answering the question.
Yeah. And then when he said regarding the off-season that they just had, he said that we have made some changes at the end of last year with the personnel. List chose to go with the list, go to the draft, and he's pretty clear as to what that looks like from people.
Rebuild.
Which makes it look like a rebuild. Now, I wanted to bring a new segment to the show, or to the channel, or to the podcast, what you want to call it. We're only going to be doing this segment when you're here, because it's going to be a bit awkward if I do it. But the segment is called Overreact or Fair Enough. So basically, I'm going to give you a couple of statements from the week from the media, or statements that I'm thinking are true, and you're going to tell me if that's an overreaction, or if you think that's a fair call to make. Essendon needs a rebuild. Is that an overreaction from people, or do you think that's a fair call?
Fair. Cool.
You think it's a fair call?
Yeah.
Okay. I will sit there and say yes. However, I think that if you lose your two best forwards, I think most teams would struggle. They've lost Kyle Langford and Peter Wright. One's had a 50-plus goal season. Two of them, actually. I think both of them have had 50-plus goal seasons. You're losing 100 goals a season right there. And I think that's a big issue. However, on the side of, yes, I agree with it, their defence is fucking woeful.
Oh, I think I saw a stat since the turn of 2000, they've only had a top six list defence once.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's horrible.
They've had an attack, I think 8 times. I
Yeah.
think, and I mean even that's not that good.
That's not good, but having 1 year out of 25, well 24, because it's not based on this year, out of 24 years, that's really poor.
Yeah, it's not good enough for a team that's still, I mean, equal most successful team in VFL AFL history when you look at premierships, which I still think is a bit of a joke now. There's no point looking at that when Carlton and Essendon are the most successful teams in the AFL, considering they've got nothing
since 2000.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that really matters. But anyway, I've got a couple more for you. Next one. Sam Darcy can win the Coleman medal this year. Is that an overreaction, or do you think that's fair?
Overreaction.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's just too early. I think 2 more years. I think
he looked good on Friday.
He looked good.
I'm sure he looked good.
But like everyone's been saying, Collingwood's defense isn't as good as what it normally is, what other teams have been. And who they play week 1? They played
North Melbourne.
Well,
and he didn't really do that well against North either. So.
I think he's getting there. I think he just needs to bulk up a bit more. So
the one thing is though, he is so fucking tall, and he's a forward. He is built as a forward, so no defender can reach his height when he gets tall. When he's got his hands up in the air.
Yeah.
He just needs to like do a little skip, and he's taller than everyone else in the game.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he's still playing a little bit of ruck, isn't he? So
yeah.
I think doing that will hamper him from winning it, because there's times that he won't be able to kick goals with being a ruckman all the time. So
at the moment, he has 5 goals this season.
Yeah.
Nick Larkey currently leads the Coleman from 2 games, I guess. He's got 8 goals, so he's probably up there with a chance. And if North Melbourne continue to, that's a bit of an overreaction. North Melbourne, are back. If they win 8 wins, 10 wins this season, North Melbourne, I think that can happen. Nick Larkey most likely wins the Coleman medal. And I think that recruitment of Jack Darling, even though some people, and probably me myself, thinking that was not a good call, he is taking a defender away. So, not a bad call. And then the final one I was just going to ask you, Harley Reid will be the first $2 million player. Is that an overreaction?
That's an overreaction by a long shot, because I think that's...
Alright guys, we're coming back for the second half now. Players moving back into their positions. So, it hasn't been one for the highlight reel this first half, I'm going to be honest. But, that's all forgotten. It's on to the second half. Having the worst skills in that doesn't really matter if you win the game. 4 points is 4 points. So the second half is underway. First clearance for Essendon. Caddy had hands to it. Got it smacked away from him, and it's a ball up pretty quickly. So Draper had a jumper held. Umpire was right there, wasn't paid. Port with the clearing ball outside the defensive 50. Mackay with a soccer on it. Redmond spills it out the back for Reid. And now Pryor wants to go out wide with the kick. They have the numbers here. Aaliyah just lets his opponent get to it first. Caddy, quick hands, did it well to Roberts. Looking for the 1-2 and he got it. Beat Mead. The kick inside the forward 50 off the left boot looked nice. Jones couldn't mark, but he's out the back, got a lot of space. Sweet. Tackled him without it momentarily. Kako got it on the up to Merritt. And now Caddy! Good work there from Radicale to knock it through.
You think you could have just stopped prop, turned and faced and turned around and just snapped it the other way instead of dribbled it?
Probably.
I think that's what he could have done there, Caddy. I get why he tried to go straight away, but I think that's the moment that you go, yeah, he had a bit of time there.
Probably had more time than he thought. Yeah, great mark from Ridley, one-handed.
Yeah, they've definitely missed this guy.
So Ridley takes the advantage now, sends it long, 3-on-3. Caddy couldn't mark, gets out the back. Burgoyne breaks the tackle. Handball over the top to Farrell. Then to Mead, missed him, rolls out of bounds. Well, Essendon with the early ascendancy in the second half. So locked inside their forward 50. So if Essendon can get the first goal of the second half, give themselves some confidence. Draper with the fist onto it. Overran it then Mead. Gresham trying to get it out. Good tackle from Sweet. Did it well. Locked an arm. And then Sweet lets him know about it.
That's what the big man has to do for Port Adelaide.
So now Sweet. Not the greatest looking kick up the wing. But it's a free kick for Essendon.
Horne-Francis is down.
I think he got a hit behind the ball potentially. So Nick Bryan works it up nicely to Merritt. The best user to have it in their hands of. He's probably too far out to score though. So he just goes a little dab kick over the top. Great work there from Merritt. And Durham an opportunity to give Essendon the lead.
I think he got a poke in the eye, actually, Horne-Francis. Yeah, Falcon by Horne-Francis. The ball hit him straight in the face.
So Sam Durham.
Oh.
One of their shining lights the last few years. But he's hooked it.
They just...
Straight to the left.
I
Didn't
don't
even
know
score.
how they're missing so many times. There's no wind. There's no wind.
Right now, Essendon, they've had 13 scores, 3 goals, 10, and that one was out in the full. Radicalea thumps it long. Great work from Redmond. They've got the early ascendancy here, Essendon. They just haven't been able to capitalise just yet. Redmond, inside the forward 50 for Kako. Had too much on it. Gets out the back. Rioli just clears it outside the defensive area. Didn't really look. Runs and runs a bit more. Good 60 metres on the ball. And Barry locks it in. Did it well in the end there, Joe Barry. So Pal Pepper looks like he's about to make his way back onto the field. Did miss the latter parts of that second term through some sort of injury. Seems okay now though. Hobbs to Bryan. Over the top of the handball to Caldwell. He goes further on to Durham. Spills it out. Sweet. Just got it out somehow.
Oh, jeez.
To Burgoyne. And now Port Adelaide want to go on the other side. Mraz did it well. Gave it off to Sweet, who just breaks past the tackler. The kick forward towards the one-on-one. Essendon have numbers.
What do you think about this? Them jeering their own player.
Yeah. Well, I don't really like it, but yeah.
Oh,
So the kick was a little bit too much there for Pryor. He did well to gather it in the end. Short ball to Roberts. Through the middle they go. Great kick from Roberts. Links up here with Caldwell. He went to go on the outside, then realised there was an option inside 50. Aaliyah cuts it off.
done that in his whole career, Lil.
Just stuck his hand out and stole it. Horne-Francis gives it off to Sin. He drives it up the wing. A number out the back here all on his own is Burn-Jones. He has acres of space to work into. He ducks back past McGrath a little bit too easily. And then the kick was nice to Richards. He takes the advantage from 45. Joe Richards! Great finish! From the former Pie, gives Port Adelaide a surprising first goal of the second half. First goal of it.
Port Adelaide did not deserve to kick the first goal of the second half. That for the first 4.5 minutes, it's all been Essendon. It is, and
Well, they had a lapse in defence, which is a prone thing for Essendon.
yeah,
All on his own here, Joe Richards. He has time to stop, take the mark, take a few steps, kick it straight through. And Burn-Jones had too much space here.
yeah. Danny McGrath again.
I don't know if that could just be Andy McGrath, though. There was no defence on anyone then.
Nah.
Good work there from Richards, though. Good finish. He's been pretty decent tonight.
He's been a nice pickup so far in the first 3 games of Port Adelaide.
Is he worth Dan Houston, though? Is he worth being part of that Dan Houston deal?
No way. But he's done pretty well.
He's probably been their best recruit so far.
How was that play on? It was outside the circle, but you know.
Breaks through a couple there, Martin, and kicks it inside the forward 50 towards Caddy. Aaliyah had the better of the two tonight. Spills out now. Good hands from Edwards. Just missed Dersma. Had to fish back and get it. Did okay. Now Pryor sets it up top of the goal square. Essendon have numbers here. Draper threw himself at it. Couldn't mark. And Burgoyne, Radicalea on the toes of Drew, but he's good enough to gather. Gets the 1-2. And off go Port Adelaide. Great work from Dersma to cut that off though. Oh, it was holding the ball. He didn't even tackle him.
Fuck.
Takes the advantage here, Dersma, towards the pocket. Great work from Bergman.
That's really
Won it
poor,
well.
Essendon. That's really poor. Like,
Should have had numbers there.
they've got Kane Farrell down.
Farrell just being looked at by doctors. I'm sure it's just a contact injury. Hopefully he's okay. He's coming off slowly. The kick from Bergman goes out on the full.
He seems to be running off on his own feet.
So Zach Reed runs around Pal Pepper, drives towards the one-on-one at Lear. He's been the brick wall all night, Lear. He gets off to Sin. He works the kick out wide. So now Port Adelaide want to go on the outer side. Good kick from Berry to Richards. Now Mraz. Couple of lesser names for Port Adelaide linking up towards Wines, the former Brownlow medalist. Handballing forward to Georgiades, who fumbled at the crucial stage. Did well there, Caldwell. Durham breaks a tackle and off they go. Essendon on counter. Merritt gives it off looking for the 1-2. Goes over the top. He'll link up in the end, Merritt. From outside 50, he looks at his options, works for the kick inside, and that's better from Essendon. Well, if he can have 40 touches, Merritt, I think if he can have 45 to 50, kick 2 goals, Essendon will be the top 4 by the end of the season.
Yeah. He has to average 40. He has to do a Gary Ablett Gold Coast Sun year.
Yeah, probably even more than that. Because I mean,
like if he's doesn't have the ball, they got no hope. Essendon at the moment. I think Port need to put someone on him at the moment because if he gets off the chain, Essendon will get back into this game. So they're not far behind.
Had a few opportunities earlier in the game, but now he kicks it straight. So Menzies keeps them in touch. First goal of the second half for the Bombers. And who else but Zach Merritt to set it up?
Yeah, they just... I think if Port may need to consider putting someone on Merritt.
Potentially Drew. He's been one to do it in the past.
Yeah. I think Durham's role on Rosie's been pretty good so far.
Oh,
yeah.
There's Kane Farrell there. Got a knee right to their hip area. So back at the stoppage. Here we go. Burgoyne at the back of it. Got tackled by Shield just inside the centre square here.
Now Gresham's down.
Gresham clutching at his hip area as well. Tap down towards Dersma. Gathered it. Did well to break past the tackler. He drives it inside the forward 50 once again. Who's going to fly? Hits the ground. Great rove there from Menzies. Can't get rid of it though. Alia fumbled away from him. Edwards socketed it off the ground. Not far enough. Now Evans. Look at that darting kick. Couldn't hit his target though. Boak. Back to Radicalea. Got it smothered. Great pressure from Essendon. Essendon have had the ball living inside their forward half in this third quarter. I've only kicked the 1 goal, but they're threatening to get in front.
There's a lot of pressure from Essendon. They just haven't put it on the scoreboard. But if they can put it on there, they'll go a long way in winning this game.
Draper, handball inside to Caldwell. Broke past one. Got the handball to Shield. Got it out somehow to Durham, who found some space. Blasted away and out of bounds on the full.
The pressure there, I think, from Willemtree just to get that last touch, help that move, keep that out in the full there.
So Alia goes for the kick wide, but great cut off there by Dersma. No. Just dropped the mark. Did everything but hold on there, Dersma, but he did it really well.
He clearly didn't mark it.
So Port Adelaide, probably the hardest they've been able to fight. They've been fought against in this game so far is right now. So Soldo goes into the ruck here against Draper. Soldo tap down, spills past Wines. Gathered, free kick called. It's going to be Essendon's free. Just seems off tonight, Jason Horne-Francis. He's giving away that free kick. It's going to go Hobbs' way. So Hobbs. He's going to set it up, top of the goal square once again, looking for Draper. He got hands to it, tapped away by Soldo. Bergman, got to get rid of it, did okay, looking for the 1-2, kept it just in bounds. Now Bergman drives it outside the defensive 50. Essendon have numbers, went up there, Reed, and came down hard. Port Adelaide have numbers, they just have to work it out. Socket away there by Pryor. Horne-Francis getting pressured up, did well there, Pryor. The handball there from Georgiades, I thought it was the right idea, but Rosie just wasn't on the same talking chain there. They had an opportunity to work that forward there, but Rosie wasn't ready for the handball. Then Horn Francis, another mess up.
He's just had a horrible start to the season, Horn Francis.
Tried to smack that one forward there, Soldo. Didn't get much connection onto it. Shield at the back to Hobbs. High ball. Port Adelaide have the numbers. Radicalea, good mark. Gives it off to Evans. And now Port Adelaide want to go on the counter. The kick up to Horn Francis. He takes it.
Joe Richards.
In fact, it's Richards. Works the kick up to Mead. And now Port Adelaide want to go. Mraz has a few options inside. Goes for the high ball into the pocket for Reid and Georgiades. Georgiades did it well. Kept it in front of him. Palpepper wrapped up by McGrath. Still in here. Georgiades gone. Great tackle. And now Essendon go. Martin. Long kick up the wing. Low ball. Couldn't mark there was Edwards. Still fighting for it though. Tapped it away. Port Adelaide have numbers. Mraz back to Rioli. The inside kick was well to Wines. He's got a handball option. Fame one way. Did the little duck step. And now Wines makes them pay. Shows his true quality there, Ollie Wines. And Port Adelaide break out to that 8-point lead. Well,
it was just such a bit of skill from a veteran player.
He faked it out really well there, Ollie Wines. Probably hasn't shown that in his kit bag too often, but just did this one brilliantly. And then just did it against the young Archie Roberts, just outsmarted him, and the kick to finish was nice. So the game's opened up a little bit in this third term. Essendon have dominated the territory, but just haven't been able to score or capitalise. Shield, try to get it out there. Couldn't get it. Digging it underneath it. There is Mead. Somehow dug it out towards Wines. He gets it forward. Who's going to get there first? Richards puts on the pressure against Ridley. Now trying to back out of it and did it well. The inside kick towards the one-on-one. Georgiades couldn't mark. Hits the ground. Rosie span. Missed the handball. Then got a tap out towards Horn Francis. Fumbled it. Mead somehow got it out of there. Burn-Jones got a scrubbing kick and he's turned it over. Wide kick now for Jones and Essendon can settle it down.
Burn-Jones was a bit too quick there. If he took a second, he would have realised that there was no way he was going to get a goal.
So Caldwell holds it up. So now McGrath goes through the switch kick now. Finds Ridley. Off to Reid. Low kick was nice. So Dersma. Ticked under the 10-minute mark of this third quarter. Dersma with a grubber. Did well to gather it in the end. Caddy. Hobbs wrapped up by Evans. Did it well. Just slowed down the momentum there for Essendon. Wines. Underground found Mead. Feigned one way then another. The inside kick's dangerous, but it's going to work.
Oh,
and off they go.
The big man.
Sweet did well. Handball wasn't so great though. Put Burn-Jones under pressure. Fighting for it is Richards. Got it back up. DBJ. Kick backwards. Wasn't the greatest. Farrell has to fight for it. Back on the ground. This may be his first touch of the quarter. He's true quality with his kick though. And look at that.
Beautiful kick.
To Boak. Finds Wines. He's really growing into this third quarter. To Burn-Jones who fumbled and bumbled it. Crucial fumble. Fought back for it though is Rosie. Georgiades out the back to Sin, who kicks towards goal and misses.
I just think at the moment with the Porter just showing a bit more class here at the moment. Just like with that Kane Farrell kick, just to absolutely nail a 50-metre dart at Boak.
So now Essendon have it with Caldwell, defensive side of the wing, commentary side. So Caldwell tried to fake out Rioli, did it well. Then I think he's toe on the ground, turned it over. Mraz to Wines, looking for the 1-2. Again, the little feigned handball, and the kick was nice to Rioli. Wasn't paid the mark, and he turned it over.
It may not have. I don't know. I wasn't paid.
So Pryor going with the switch here, Essendon. Reid to Dersman, now Ridley. Low ball down towards the one-on-one. It's an okay kick. And they want to give it on the up. They want to go run and gun here, Essendon. Low ball, good kick,
Oh,
good defensive play there by Evans. Unfortunately, he's given away the high. So Jones has it. They've been stuck at this point a lot tonight, Essendon. So he's just going to drive it long towards the 50 for Draper. Sweet did well to bring it to ground. Draper goes in hard.
Oh.
Ball spills. Burgoyne and Sweet is there. Sweet's been okay. Kako wraps him up. Umpire circles. Umpire wants to give it. Ball it up and Farrell's down again.
Yeah, Farrell, I think, just got another hit winded.
As Bergman is also off the ground here getting his, looks like his left hamstring checked up. Not great signs.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's Kane Farrell again. He's hit against Draper like a brick wall. Farrell, unfortunately, just in the wars at the moment. Tapped down. Tapped out the back by Essendon. Did it well, Dersma. To Kako. Hasn't really been seen it much tonight. Kick got smothered. Horn Francis kicks it up the wing. Missed his target. Spills to Reed. It's been pretty good. Kick inside. Don't know if that was meant to go to Ridley, but he's okay in the end. And now gives it to Durham. Inside kick towards the one-on-one. Marked it! Roberts! The smaller man takes a good mark. Well, they've been bombing it to Allaire all night. They've still done it in this third quarter as well. But that was a better kick there from Durham. One of their more quality players. A great kick. It's a good mark there from Roberts. Probably has a few more games of experience over Mraz and just shown that there. So Archie Roberts, not much angle to speak of. A lot of his forward teammates have struggled, but he comes in and kicks the goal. Back to 3 points. They just won't go away here, Essendon. They're sticking to the plan, keeping in touch.
Cochrane's getting ready to go, it looks like. Looks like Bergman may have done something to his hamstring.
Be a massive loss if Bergman's out. He's been really good so far this season.
And even in this game, he's done a lot.
He's had a shocker, Jason on Francis, hasn't he? He just hasn't had it tonight. And Connor Rosie's been chucked forward to try and break that matchup against Durham, and Durham's made him pay. He's been the better player so far in this third term. So it looks like Port Adelaide about to make their sub. Cochrane about to make his way onto the field. What a story he is. The first ever player to play an AFL game with Tourette's. Back at the footy though. Sweet got pushed in the back. He'll get the free kick in the middle of the ground. Drew went to play on, then realised maybe not so. Bergman's walking to the doctors. So Burgoyne gets shut down by Kako. Got the kick away. Somehow landed luckily towards Drew, who drives it towards Horn Francis. Went up, couldn't mark.
Taken absolute...
Roberts, happy to see that through for a rush behind.
Or was it El Harley that come on?
Ivan Soldo was listening to a podcast on the Boundary Line. For some reason, he said that his favourite is the Boundary Riders podcast, which comes out every Wednesday morning. So, I mean, I'm not saying that. That's what he said. Back in the game, Draper, smart tap to Merritt, just slung it forward. No numbers there for Essendon. And Allaire again. He's been so good tonight. Long handball to Sin, and he just runs over the boundary line. So Bergman comes back on, just trying to give his leg a little bit of a run. Doesn't look too
concerned about it
at the moment, but he's not running 100%. Looks like both subs just going to have to wait a few more moments. Tap down from Sweet. Power Pepper, great pick up and give to Drew. A lot of space to work into. The kick up the field was nice to Rosie.
Ooh.
In fact, no, it's Ivan Soldo who wants to go inside towards the one-on-one. Rioli left it for Mitch Georgiades, and he's given away the free.
So Rioli, I know what he's trying to do there, but it just if he actually went for the ball, he would have taken that. Roberts misjudged that. Yeah.
If he went back for it, maybe Rioli could have potentially marked it, but Archie Roberts had a good couple of moments in this third term. So he'll drive it up the wing, low ball Nice looking kick for Merritt. Couldn't mark. Palpepper riding him like a horse, like a jockey. Couldn't get it, and it's a ball up. So now Radikalea sitting on the bench, being checked on by the trainers. Hopefully he's okay. I think maybe he's one of only a few rotations tonight. Tap down from Sweets towards Rosie. Just seems like a couple of Port midfielders just off their game. So Drew has gone to Merritt at stoppage, it seems, for the moment. Tap down towards Drew. Did well to gather it to Horn Francis. Has a few options. Decides to go the kick into the centre square to open it up.
Bogue.
Just holds it up here, Bogue. Just goes laterally to Evans. It's going to be a reversal.
If this is against Horn Francis, I'll be pissed.
It was against someone there. It's gone to Hobbs, but Edwards would take the free. Gresham, long handball over the top, telegraphed it little. Merritt, too good to get rid of it. Did well, and now Durham drives it long. 1-on-1. Can he get there? Bergman did well. The long kick wasn't the greatest. And
He didn't give it really to Menzies' advantage. Oh,
it's Rioli.
What?
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did, but I don't know.
He tried to put a block on for a teammate, and unfortunately did it probably a little bit too forcefully. 3 points again. Port Adelaide just being able to hold the lead only slightly, though. Tap down from on the wing. Brian did well. Pryor on the up somehow. Looking for the 1-2 was Roberts. Hobbs said, I'll do it myself. Drives it inside towards Draper. 1-2. Couldn't mark it on the third attempt. Kako gives it off to his captain in Merritt, and he shows his class and hits the post.
If it's not...
Zach Merritt couldn't even direct it in. It looked home for all money and then just swung late. And now Port Adelaide want to try and go quickly on the rebound. Bergman, he looks okay now. Handballed into Mead. Too easy to break past two tacklers there. The wide kick hits up Burn-Jones. The kick over the top. Palpepper wasn't a great kick. He did well to gather it. The little stiff arm on Shield. Swings it inside towards the one-on-one of Georgiades and Reed. And goes out of bounds.
That's just a bit concerning how easy that was to transition there from Port Adelaide. But Essendon, they're doing a lot right. They just can't put it on the scoreboard.
Got Caddy and Jones both off the ground at the moment. Essendon want them two back on to show some forward presence. Sweet with the tap. Horn Francis did well. Breaks past a couple. Hasn't been his night. Kicks it across the face. Still in bounds. Fisted to the turf. Who's going to get there? Georgiades was held. Gave it off to Burn-Jones. Tried to sneak it through the traffic. Berry taken out. That's the Horn Francis touch that just couldn't get a goal though.
He just needs a few touches here, Horn Francis.
Smashed up against Caldwell at stoppage. 3 minutes left. Hasn't had a big day, Horn Francis, but he can work into it. And we've seen a couple of last quarters through him that have been able to drag his team over the line. Tap down from Brian to Durham. Handball out. Found Martin. And he'll just want to get it out of there for the moment. Long kick. Should be recovered by Port Adelaide, but Evans couldn't beat the line. So just under 3 minutes to go in this third term. It's been a close, tough contest. So umpire throws it back into play. Sweet with the tap. Drew fumbled it. Gave it out. Ricochets to Sheila, who doesn't have the footy. And ball up. So if you're calling for subs now without injuries, you're probably expecting the tools of both sides to come out.
Yeah.
Potentially Essendon, probably a Jones or a Caddy, maybe. Shield thumps it along, but turns it over. I think Brad Scott not impressed by that kick. Wanted to try and get it out through hand, I'd imagine. But now Port Adelaide want to go on the outer side. Berry calling for some leaders. He drives it low. Georgiades was all over him there. Was Reed, not paid. Numbers here with Port. Burn-Jones breaks past the tackler. Breaks past and snaps!
Goals!
DBJ has been good. And Port Adelaide break away again.
Oh, Brad Scott will not be happy after that. It was just not a good kick towards 450 for Essendon, and just Port Adelaide just transitioned so easily
Another
all the
red
way
time
down.
goal too. It feels like a lot of the Port Adelaide's goals will come in this time tonight. But Joe Berry, there's a little sign of the future there for Port Adelaide.
I like that kick. I know, like, maybe it should have been a free.
Georgiades should have got a free.
Like, you just love that.
Reid has saddled him up. And look, you say he's a better defender. I tend to agree with you, but as a forward, he's still very good as well. An underrated utility. You know, you can go forward, you can go mid, you can go defence. I feel like if he had the tank, he'd probably be a defensive midfielder, I would say. But I mean, he's definitely useful in both ends of the ground.
Now I'm sorry, but Mackay has to do better there against Soldo. Like, he just literally collapsed on him.
Once tried to soccer it away, but now Essendon on the rebound. Bryant to Caldwell. He'll go to the top of the square. Can Draper beat Radicalea? Did well there, Radicalea. Did really well. He's grown into the game. I feel like he had a very poor start, but since then he's been okay.
Yeah, it's like, you just saw there, Caldwell running inside 450, and he goes long. Like,
that's what they've been doing all night. They haven't lowered their eyes,
No.
really. The only player who really has was Durham in that one moment, and Merritt.
yeah.
Sava Radicalea going to drive it up the wing. Who's going to fly? Ridley's in front, couldn't mark. Roved it well there. Caldwell broke past the tackler. Brian to Merritt. Quick little give to Ridley. Back to Merritt. Better get shut down. Caldwell. Port Adelaide too hot on the pressure though. Too good. Mead inside to Farrell. Better get shut down. May have got a high one. Just got the kick away. Great pressure though from Essendon. Hobbs did well. Dersma on the up to Gresham. Merritt again. He's really coming to the fore in this third term. Now Roberts towards the one-on-one. Draper couldn't mark. Kako on the ground. Radicalea goal-saving tackle. That went over, by the way. Radicalea with a goal-saving crunch time tackle.
Oh, what a moment there. And still they can't find the goal though, but you just, if it's not for Merritt, where would Essendon be to be?
I know we want to talk about Merritt, but I know that you
got to
you got to give his roses for that. That was
Like,
a great tackle. That warrants his selection. May well have injured himself too. Palpepper over the top, huge amount of space. Essendon just letting players out the back too easily tonight. Horn Francis drops an absolute soda of a mark. Has to fight back and just has had a dirty night. Palpepper fumbles it.
Unbelievable. Like,
what has happened there?
Like, there, Horn Francis is just absolutely cooked. He had the easiest of marks. Like, that's how bad a form he's actually in.
I feel like this is worse than last week, though. It feels like there's something wrong. So back in the ruck. Tap down from Brian. Goes towards the Palpepper. Horn Francis gives away a high free kick. So it's going to be Caldwell's. No, in fact, it was against Palpepper.
Yeah.
To Durham. So 20 seconds left. Essendon down by 6 points. So Essendon, I think, will be happy to take a 6-point deficit into the last change. They'll thump it long as the siren sounds at Marvel Stadium. In a game that's been grinding, grueling sort of stuff, Port Adelaide hold a 6-point lead going into the three-quarter time break. Port Adelaide 7-8-50, lead Essendon 5-14-44. Well, it hasn't been one for the highlight reels, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, this has been really
tough
bad.
watch. It's been a tough watch.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a really tough watch.
But it is close. That does set up for an interesting final term. Like Horn Francis and Rosie, I don't know what's happened to them tonight, but they have been really quiet.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Horn Francis has had 13 touches. I feel like a lot of them were in that third term, and Rosie has only had 12. I mean, I know disposals aren't everything, but they don't seem to be anywhere near the football.
No, they just can't get near it, and I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's happened to Horn Francis, but the first 3 games of the season, there's something going on there. Something's wrong because he's not. Yeah, he's just not playing to the same start. level that he normally has.
Well, he's usually like the wrecking ball.
Yeah,
you know,
and
he just throws himself into it.
We saw for 5 minutes that for like that one contest how that moment that he could give, but he hasn't done it any time during the season at all.
Yeah.
Like we saw it a bit during the preseason, but we just haven't seen it at all through anything else.
Took him a while, though. Oh my god. Oh. How you doing, Mario, man? What are you up to tonight? You watching this fucking riveting game of football? Because fuck me, it's been one to bloody poke your eyes out at this point. I love how Mark Howard's trying to make this sound like this has been a good game of footy. I mean, I appreciate the effort, but let's be honest, like this has been a shocker, and I feel like most people, if you're not a Port or Essendon fan, have turned this off at this point. So it doesn't seem the sub's been made just yet. Oh, potentially. I think actually Soldo's actually got the top there. Which it looks like maybe he's been subbed out of Van Soldo.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think that was the right move. I think, like without the injuries that to Radicalier and all that sort of shit there, and Farrell, but I think it's the right move with Soldo. He just couldn't get really much into the game. He wasn't doing a lot. He was more just to chop out for Jordan Sweet, but aside from that, he hasn't done much.
Well, the game's there to be won for the Bombers. They weren't anywhere near it like this last week, and they were in it against Hawthorn for a moment, it felt like. This is the closest they've been to a win in 2024, the 2025.
What's the gig? Yeah, and the other guy looks like he's coming on as well.
El Harley looks like he's potentially coming on for his first run as well. So, interesting to see here what team can find that composure, find that skill in this last term to hit their targets. And I think the team that has the most composure, the team that can hit their targets, the better of the two will win this game. So there's the family of El Harley seeing their son run onto the field for the first time. Starting the last quarter, both subs are on. And there's Cochrane. Great stories all round as the final term gets underway. From the tap down towards Horn Francis and Durham. Durham trying to pick it up, couldn't do so. Hobbs gets it forward, only towards the 50. And now an opportunity for Essendon with a long ball towards the one-on-one. Gets past them and rolls through for a behind by Caldwell. So another behind.
5 goals, 15. Will they rue that by the end of the night? Ooh. He could have, would have just been a lot to put them just in front for the first time in a long time.
So a long kick here and Wines again. He's been good tonight. Probably been Port Adelaide's best. He goes towards the lead up there of Georgiades.
Wasn't much there in the third quarter, but
Hasn't really done much since the first term. I think Essendon done well to lock him down. Nice little lead up there. Good kick, and here he is, the debutant in Cochrane. So he kicks it long towards the 2-on-1 here. Sweet up against Brian.
Oh, there we go.
Then Francis breaks through. An opportunity here to kick the first goal of the final term. There's his class, Jason Francis. He's been down a lot tonight, but there is true class.
hasn't been seen it all night. Has not been in it, but just the skill, precision, and the class of Horn Francis shines through.
I think maybe Ken Hinkley gave him a little talking to at three-quarter time because he's been very much down tonight. That shows why he was pick one.
Oh,
look at that.
just stole it from Pryor then. He just... Class, that is. That's class.
Well, Port Adelaide get the first goal of the last quarter. And again, coming through, good smother of the handball there by Merritt. Durham, back to Merritt who fumbled. Sweet. Handball over the top on Francis, just working himself into this last term. Moraes gives it off to Wines. Kick out wide. Good kick. Hits up Rosie. Well, they needed the senior players to rise in this final term. Both of them getting early touches. Rosie works it back to Bergman. In fact, it's Ollie Wines, I believe. No, it is Bergman. Sends it towards the pocket, towards the one-on-one. Cochrane up against Merritt. Interesting matchup, and just runs out of bounds. So throws it back into play. Tap down from Sweet. Couldn't gather it there, Brian. Harley, there's his first touch. Gives it off to Durham. He's going to get it back here. And away he goes. Takes a bounce. Looking for an option. Feigns the give as well. Early highlight for the young man. Give the kick inside to Kako. On the up to Martin. An opportunity for the quick replay for Essendon. Nick Martin drills it. Get around the kid and Harley sets it up.
That's what you want to see from Essendon. Took him all night. Took him to the last quarter, but the debutant gives them the spark.
People have been wanting this guy to be in the team. Late last year, had an injury that kept him out of the Essendon lineup. He's had a good pre-season. Wasn't in the first couple of rounds. But I think right now, get him in the team and let him stay there. That was a great little play from him. Set it all up.
That's all you want.
Brought some run. Brought something. Brought some spark.
And this is what this game needed, which is a bit of spark, a bit of
run, a bit of something. It's been a grinding. I've said that so many times, but it has been.
Yeah.
It's been grinding your teeth kind of stuff. back in the middle we go. Caldwell got it out somehow. Horn-Francis wrapped up by Caldwell. Doesn't have the footy. Eventually got rid of it here Essendon's way. Merritt. Long kick. Bergman did well against Gresham.
Gresham probably should have done better then.
Goes to the kick up the wing towards the one-on-one, and Richards did well. Runs out of bounds. How you doing, Boston? What are you up to tonight?
And just that little bit of spark of the debutant just lifts up the crowd in just a matter of a 2 minutes period.
Seems like the crowd has been in like a comatose state for a lot of this game, and now they're suddenly starting to rise. Sweet tap down. Horn-Francis got a high one. Pays the free. He's coming through like a bull. I think he's definitely been talked to at three-quarter time. Horn-Francis. Look at the kick!
Got it to the kid! He's got
It's
it!
Tommy Cochrane.
Could he do it? He did it. He's in the pocket.
Well, he's kicked 8 goals in his first couple of games in the lower levels, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, 2 goals in 2 Sandford preseason games.
So an opportunity for Cochrane. We saw the debutant on Essendon's end set up their big goal. This would be something. Tom Cochrane. What a story this man is. Tucked up in the pocket. Umpire. Oh, it's in the post.
Imagine if he kicked that.
Yeah, we're just watching this footy too, man.
Oh, that would have been the moment.
When the umpire didn't move, I thought for a moment he's about to go run away in celebration. So now Essendon have it with Dylan Shield. He drives it high towards the broadcast wing, and Jones gets hands to it and marks. He's got an option in the middle of the ground if he's feeling ballsy enough. Look at the kick. Hits up Caldwell. Suddenly there's a run in this game. There's a bit of sparks, a bit of life to it. Caldwell sends it long. Radikalea, great spoil. Got it away, a good 30-metre spoil, but it lands in the hands of Redmond. Back to Pryor, to Draper. Didn't look, just say, I'm standing at long, boys. Port Adelaide have numbers, and Burgoyne been good all night.
You just want him to do a bit better there, Sammy Draper. He didn't look, he didn't do anything. He just popped it on the boat and just hoped. And Port Adelaide have done well here a lot of the time with someone in the hole. Bergman, Radikalea, and Burgoyne a few times.
Boston, this is my brother. I thought it would kind of be obvious. We kind of look the same. We're identical twins, so, I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. Short ball. Hits up. Is this Cochrane again? Or is this Mariah? I think it's Marias, actually. Doesn't have many options inside, so takes his full measure. Sends it up towards half forward. Burn Jones just overrun it a little. Mackay to Shield. Did it well. Long handball. And now Essendon want to go. El Harley gives it off to Pryor. The long kick towards the one-on-one. Evans jumped up a bit early. Got a fingernail on it, and it trickles out of bounds. Okay, get up, Radikalea. Yeah, he's the Port supporter. He went down a bit easy there, don't you think?
Well, it gives us a free, it's right, isn't it? The amount of frees that sometimes they get for doing that.
I think the umpires have been okay tonight. There's been a couple of odd decisions, but they've been pretty good, considering last week how fucking poor they were. So Draper with the tap. Wines gathers out the back to Evans. Missed the handball to Berry. Turned it over. Gresham. And now Redmond from 50. Bread and butter stuff. Scores a level. Essendon right in the hunt.
Oh, that was the worst moment for Port Adelaide all game. That was that.
Logan Evans would have been praying to if he could turn back time on that handball. It was a dreadful gift to Berry. Missed him completely. You would have thought that he had Essendon colours on, Joe Berry. Missed him completely. Hey, Boundary Port Power, how are you doing?
A bit shit after that goal, but, you know. I think when Redmond got it, you just thought he was going to kick that.
It makes it easier.
He's missed it by about 2 metres there. That's not... he knew it once he hit the boot for Redmond.
I'm Dylan, by the way. He is Jack. That's probably a little bit easier than saying Boundary and Port Power.
Maybe for the first time tonight that the fans have gone up from the start of this quarter.
So back in the middle we go. Rosie socketed it off the ground towards half forward. Picked up well by Roberts. Quick hands to Pryor. They just look a little bit slicker at the moment, the Bombers. Redmond, the kick out wide for El Harley once again. Will he keep it in bounds? He will. Off he goes. Quick handball was nice. Turned it over though. Moraes gives the handball inside. Numbers here with Port Adelaide. Wines. Underground handball wasn't so great. Fingertip tackle there from Evans. Couldn't shut down the Bomber. And now Shield streaming through a couple of Port Adelaide opponents. The kick inside towards Draper. Will he go around the corner? It's a long way out.
He'd have to do this from 50. But it looks like he's going to go back for the drop punch at this one. He's just too far
I
out.
think he's going for the drop punt here, Draper. It's the first time it seems tonight they've been able to take a one-on-one mark.
Yeah.
The kick was to his advantage. So Sam Draper. It's been a bit quiet tonight. He has kicked the one goal. He comes in with the drop punt from inside 50.
No.
He's left it out to the right. And it's gone. No, still in
no,
bounds.
That was a point. That was clearly a point.
Dersma gives it off to Martin. He snaps it towards goal. He's hooked it across the face. And he's hit it into the point post.
Oh, there's no way that that's not a point.
I don't think it did. Yeah. Draper, it's 100% from snapshot kicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he just fucked it up. It's a Farrell. The mic is echoing now. You're going to have to turn yours down a bit. So Rosie has it.
In the last 5 minutes, this is when Rosie hasn't... He started like... Yeah, this is when he needs to take his moment now.
The kick up the line here to Burgoyne. He's been good tonight. Scores are all square at the moment. Burgoyne just sends it up the wing, hoping for a flyer. Brian got a tap onto it inside to Roberts. Shut down by Boak. Let it go. Should be rewarded.
Isn't.
And wasn't.
Oh.
Umpire didn't see. He didn't get a hand to a handball and just fumbled it out of bounds. I mean, there is 4 of them out there. I know it's hard for them to not see it on the boundary line, but with 4 of them, you'd think they'd be able to get someone near that. But anyway, who am I to judge? Throws it back in. Tap from Sweet. Gets past Wines. Dersma almost got a high one. Did well. Wines with a spinning tackle. Did it well, but now Essendon are away. Shield off to Dersma, who takes a bounce. Long handball over the top. Numbers up forward here for Menzies, but the kick just missed Caddy. Wasn't the greatest, but I think he's given away the free.
Yeah, Leah went high.
Essendon, I don't think, have been in front since early in the second term. Or maybe late in the first term. This is an opportunity for Nate Caddy. He's been quiet tonight. Elias had his number. But an opportunity here for the kid. He's the future of this forward line. Can he kick his first? You call us Sid Swans and Port Pal. Yeah, that's probably a good call.
He's normally been a good kick, reliable kick, Caddy.
He's been quiet tonight. But of course, you can always have your moment. And Nate Caddy! Drifts late. We'll call you Pies. All right, fair enough, Pies. That looked online all the way through until that last moment.
Hornfrost has been on the bench for the last couple of minutes. So this is his moment now to get him back on the field. And really, Rioli.
So now Farrell kicks it up the wing. Looking for a marker. Georgiades been quiet in the second half. Spills out Reed. Now they can work it forward. Ridley to Shield. High ball again. Who's going to fly? Aaliyah and Caddy. Caddy did well to bring it to ground. He's holding on to Caldwell. There was Rosie. Gets it out to Essendon. To Kako. He's been hardly sighted. Gets the handball out towards Dersma. And now Caddy. The check side. Hit it too hard.
They've had so many opportunities
7
in this
goals,
game.
17. What's happened? Essendon have not had their kicking boots on. They kicked 3 goal 9 to half time. They've kicked, 4 goal 8 in the second half. Short kick from Evans. Hits up Moraes. Short kick up the wing again. Great on the pressure there, Essendon. You picked them by 1 point, Essendon. Well, it could be right. You could be right up there. Essendon fans are up and about. They know they're in with a chance here. Probably the closest they've been to a win all season so far. Tap down. Mead couldn't gather it. Hobbs fumbled and bumbled. Oh, Rosie missed tackle. Gresham inside towards El Harley. He's brought them something. The kick across his body inside the forward 50. Spoiled to the ground. Richards is there against Gresham. Gresham couldn't gather it. Burgoyne did well. Broke past the tackler. Horn Francis, a little kick over the top was nice to Rosie. He dodges past it, away they go Airport. Rosie looking for an option. He just decides to drive it long to space. McGrath there marked it. And now they want to go on the counter. Mackay gives it back to McGrath. Cochrane chases him. McGrath works it all the way back to Reed.
Port did well there. To get him
Oh, the
back.
kick from Reed is up-ish. Caldwell did well. So Caldwell holds it up. Works it out wide now to Dersma. Makes him chase it towards the one-on-one. The shake of the hips. The great work there from, I think it's Boak, who almost dragged down the tackle. Ridley gives over the top towards Menzie. He went to go forward, then realised there wasn't an option. So back to Caldwell. And he kicks it up the wing. Good kick. Hits up Kako. He plays on. He dodges past Evans, who goes to ground momentarily. He kicks it into the pocket. It's a 2-on-1. It's Caddy. There's your future there, Essendon. Kako to Caddy.
The minute they started moving the ball and going fast is when Essendon started actually looking a better side.
El Harley's come onto the field and he's
Yeah.
given him something.
Yeah.
So Nate Caddy, he missed this opportunity just moments ago, but now to give Essendon an 8-point lead. They're going to be hard to beat the Bombers. It's 8 points the margin. Elias had his number all night, but Caddy just coming to the fore in this last quarter. Must say, bro, you should be an AFL commentator. Like, replace roaming BT and Kelly Underwood. I mean, I'll let Channel 7 know, and I'll hand in my resume. I went for the KO call-up. I didn't get it. Doesn't seem like it's much of a really big opportunity, though, I'm going to be honest.
I haven't even seen the guy. I've seen him do a few things on...
A lot of the stuff he's doing is just seems like just
Promos.
trailing them. Oh, yeah, and a couple of trailing them, so... I mean, I guess that's good for experience.
Yeah,
but I thought it'd be a little bit more hands-on-ish. I didn't think you'd be commentating, but I thought you'd at least be somewhere in the broadcast. So Bombers have kicked 3 in a row after Port Adelaide got the first goal of the last quarter. There's still heaps of time left for Port Adelaide. Have to lift, and they have to do it now. Back in the middle, Horn Francis. He's trying to gather it. Did well to eventually get it off to Rosie. About to get tackled. Got it off to Boak. He dodged past the tackler. Back through to Wines. Off to Rosie. They need their captain to rise. And he does! Oh, I think he's at the post.
Oh. The goal umpire did well there.
What goal umpire did well there to fake us out there.
Yeah. That could have been the moment. That could have been the moment that Port needed. Because Essendon in the last 5 minutes, well, pretty much this whole quarter, really had all the momentum.
Kick over the top. Now Mackay on the wing. On Fox or KO. I think they're the same thing now. So Mackay kicks it up the ground. He's been okay in the second half. Good kick to Durham. Off to Merritt. He's got an option in the pocket. Says, I don't want to go there. He goes further on, and it's a weird kick from Merritt.
He was expecting... Oh, I think he should have just went to Caddy, but...
Nate Caddy turned around and gave him a little bit of a
serve.
But not too much. He knew he was still the captain. He wants to be selected
That
next
was
week.
in.
Horn Francis
Oh, that
takes
was
them
still
up.
in. Yeah.
He goes
it's
up
not
the ground. It's a long kick. It's okay work from Boak. Just keep it in front of him momentarily. But now Essendon on the ground. They link up. Dersma inside to Roberts. He's been good. Sends it inside towards Draper.
Nah. Port Adelaide have just lost all their run. And
This one will go around the body. Sam Draper. This would almost be the knockout punch. So Sammy Draper this season, he's been 100% on the snapshot kicks. This is his preferred way of doing things. Crowd still not too happy about it, but they're going to start loving it in a moment. Draper's got another. "13 points. It's almost a game-high lead. Port Adelaide had a 14-point lead midway through the second term. But right now, Essendon's 13-point lead looks like 30.
Yeah, Port Adelaide just stopped, and
It's just not a good kick.
the speed of Essendon's just really shown up in this last quarter.
I'm sure Essendon supporters are probably asking, where was this the first couple of weeks of the season? I guess you could say this is it their first time on Marvel for the season, or did they play Hawthorn there in round 1, I think?
No, they play MCG.
Yeah, so they're probably they do like the under the dome, under the lid. There's still time, but Essendon are in the box seat. Wines wrapped up by Caldwell, not letting him go. Merritt breaks past the tackler, handball forward to Martin. Missed him. Hobbs in and under. Great clean pickup to Durham from outside 50. It will float. It bounces. Draper tapped down. Kako about to get into his move. The kick out did well to Dersma. Just the 15, I would say. And Dersma against the former side can send the dagger in their hearts.
This all started when El Harley ran through the defensive 50 and just gave them some pace, and Port Adelaide just haven't been able to keep up with them.
They've kicked the last 4, Essendon. This for a game-high lead. Port Adelaide, my bro, Melbourne is not their place. Yeah, I mean, they've been good at Marvel, though, in previous times. So Dersma from just inside 50... Felt sorry for his former side. Didn't kick it very well. Draper in front should have marked. Dropped it. Ball up. Top of the goal square. Sin looking for a free. Didn't get it. Tap down from Sweet. Burgoyne wrapped up. Be another one. 6:26 left. Port Adelaide need 3 goals to take the lead back. Draper tried to take out of the ruck, couldn't do so. Jones tapped it towards Merritt, couldn't get there. Aaliyah trying to soccer it off the ground. Inside handball from Durham. Hobbs looking for a high one, didn't get it. Got it out towards Ridley. It was smothered off the boot. Up and under. Who's going to fly? Caldwell did well. Jones wrapped up. Ball up. You got to go, Boston. Thanks for joining the stream, man. Oh, sorry, Pies. Thanks for joining the stream, man. You are donkeys. I appreciate that. Tap down from Sweet. Gresham fumbled. Rosie did as well, spills out. Rosie got a kick away to the space there for Moraes and Martin. Martin dropped it. Umpire says that's fair enough, I guess, and ball in.
Yeah.
It's pretty disappointing from Port Adelaide. I really thought they were going to come in tonight with a better mindset, but in this last quarter, they've just been beaten by a faster team who want it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Tap down from Draper. Durham. Trying to break through. It's few tacklers. Did it well. Did it somehow broke out of an impossible angle. Then Merritt, underground handball to Kako, who rolls out of bounds. Not a donkey, a goat. Oh, appreciate that, man. I still think it's a donkey, but it's okay. Kako calling for more support here from the crowd. Hinkley looking at the laptop, seeing if there's any last thing he can squeeze out of his 10-year experience as coach. 10-plus years experience. From the tap, Burgoyne. Clearing ball outside the defensive 50. Essendon have numbers. Up goes Brian and takes the mark and tells everyone to settle down. We're about to tick into red time. So Brian works it back to Ridley. Further back. They're just trying to take some time out of the clock here. The switch kick to Mackay. The jeers have slowly turned down in this last term. Over to Dersma. Port Adelaide need a man up here.
You're playing this well, Essendon. Just move it around. Wasting it.
Roberts kick. Kako did well to bring it to ground in the end. Caldwell over the top to Gresham. Needs to use it well. Inside kick turned it over.
They've got to go. They've got to go here, Port.
Port Adelaide probably need a goal from this play to keep themselves alive. Kick out wide. El Harley again. Oh, he's becoming a fan favourite in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not the kick. They need to go straight down the middle.
Port Adelaide shooting themselves in the foot, really. They should just bomb that straight down the middle of the ground. They've only done it a few times tonight, and I think they've scored from at least one of them. Tap down from Sweet. Trying to break a tackle there was Caldwell. Rosie trying to tap it out towards Wines. He's had a night to forget there, Connor Rosie. 4:25 left in the game. Sweet tap down. Marias back to Rosie, trying to get into his move. He did okay. Back to Marias, who fumbled. Hobbs on his hammer. Didn't have the footy. Umpire says that's okay. Well, Port Adelaide need to do something special here to pull this out.
Ever since they stopped Georgiades, Port Adelaide just have had no answers because they've just went to him all night. So Essendon's done really well with that.
It looks like they're sending Radicalier up the ground now. Gresham couldn't gather it now. Wines gets it forward. In front, Rioli. Play on. Horne-Francis. Quick give off to Boak. Great play to have the hands with it. He sends it long. Burne-Jones is there. So is Georgiades. Almost marked it. Hit the ground quickly. Quick handball to Mead. He got rid of the handball.
He handballed it. Oh, you joking. He handballed it and he's given it. Oh, you fucking retard. You idiot.
So Mead just gets up slowly. Have to look at that replay again, but it looked like he got a handball to it. Brian has the footy now in the back 50. Pryor looks a little bit worse for wear. Sends it up the wing. Draper in a one-on-one. Sweet did want to bring it to ground, but O'Harley's away again. He'll be the quickest player on the field at the moment. Rosie trying to track him down, but he's just too quick. The kick across his body. Almost turned it over. Sin did it well. This is their chance here, Port. The kick forward. Great spoil to the ground. Essendon numbers everywhere. O'Harley again. Menzies. Backwards kick to Dersma.
Ooh.
Rioli gives away the free kick. Downfield, it's gone about 3.5 metres. So free kick now will be taken by Redmond. So Redmond sends it forward. Good kick in the end to Caldwell. He's been good in this final term. Had an option in the pocket. Decides to just take his time. Caldwell sends it to the top of the goal square. Draper is there. Couldn't mark. It gets out the back and spills through for a behind.
You think Essendon deserve to win this game? With the amount of scoring shots and the amount of time they've had all game, they've deserved to win this, Essendon. Port Adelaide has just been off the mark for most of the night.
Bounce, yeah. Again, they stand up in the middle of the ground. Great work from Redmond. Out wide to Dersma. Two minutes 18 on the clock. You would think this is going to be Essendon's first win of the season. Dersma, dodge past Farrell. He'll go long. Eventually he does. Sends it towards the top of the goal square for Gresham. Aaliyah couldn't mark it. Quick give to Wines. Through the middle they can go now. 1-2 here and Marias can go. Off centre half back. The kick forward was nice. Hit up Boak. Wasn't the 15. Quick handball. Too hot there for Boak. Good work to Bergman. Sends it through the middle of the ground looking for Marias. Strong hands from the kid. Runs away from Merritt. Bow Pepper. Breaks past the tackler. Handball over the top to Marias. Rioli's inside 50. He marks. He's got to go back quickly.
The last 5 minutes from this Marias, he's been very good.
He's got to go now, Rioli. It's 8 points. If they kick a goal, get a quick clearance and maybe another one.
I think he's taking too long. Even if he nails it, they've only got a minute 10.
So Rioli comes in. It holds that left goalpost. No. And it drifts. And that's probably about it for Port.
They've only got themselves to blame here, Port. They kicked the first goal of the last quarter. They had all the momentum with Jason Horne-Francis finally doing something, but yeah, just the speed of Essendon in the end is just taken over.
Caddy got up, couldn't mark. Mead with the pick. Gives off the handball to Rosie, looking for the 1-2. Mead, back to Boak. He went past another. Inside the forward 50 towards the pocket. Horne-Francis marks. So Horne-Francis. 36 seconds left. He comes in. Kicks towards goal, and he's micked it wide. Well, that's two opportunities they could have kicked then, Port. I mean, I know the scoreline reads like Essendon have missed a lot of opportunities, and don't get me wrong, they definitely have, but Port have as well. Well, they've definitely got it now, Essendon. Redmond Sends it up the commentary side wing for Draper. Couldn't mark. Dersmer against the former side's going to get a win. Durham wrapped up. He's been one of their best. Ball up. Tap down from Brian. Coming through his shield. Durham trying to dig it out of there. Spills out. Dersmer. It's been a tough week for Essendon. A lot of calls about if they really want it. But right now, they are on top. They have been in a very tough football team for a long time. It's been a tough few years. But this feels great for them tonight. A great win from Essendon in the end. They've won by 12 points. Essendon 9-18-72. Beat Port Adelaide 8-12-60. Alright guys, that's where we're going to end the stream. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.